Alright, let me just post this places so that anyone who would want to watch will catch it. Okay. Open up my side thing so I can actually see chat. Okay, we're good. I think for the most part, I'm going to be watching this at normal speed for the first time, like ever, just because these games are rather high stakes, and well, depending on how this VOD shapes up, I might put it on 2x speed. I think the other two games I'm going to do will probably be on normal speed for once. Just because I'm curious to see exactly like how everything worked out. Anyways, yeah. Let's see. I'll watch this first map on normal speed.
They even have
what is this?
Really good Zenyatta player like Corange. We've seen
Who streamed this
multiple times on Zenyatta, and even Lupical.
This had to be. India hosted this game.
Playstyle. So don't count them out just yet. They might just
Jazza?
Another upset.
That has to be Jazza.
Our map right here, Legion Power
Oh my
this
god.
is a map I love to watch.
I think it was.
Usually,
Yeah, the other game, but Kanji was like
ball here, ball, and Sigma gets
on some ult, and I was like, please get on your mains, just so people know who you are.
On the
of course
Reinhardt and the Winston. Now we do have a pause coming out.
Okay, thank you. He caught it.
Alright, and now they're
Abraxas, my friend, you still have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Look at this though,
I'm
Divider.
trying
We have
to finish eating while watching this as well.
Nova on this Winston. I've actually seen this.
Okay.
Compositions. Expert meta a couple of times, especially a
interesting
lot
from the
like
Glock, but I'm also not shocked because they were heavy favorites, so they could play whatever the fuck they wanted and get away with it.
Trying to go to the point, scout them out, and we'll be seeing a lot of
pretty standard from LOVEMUFFIN. Nothing shocking.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of thing. This is
interesting to see Hooter benched, although they've been speaking a lot of praises for Deadlock, so I'm not shocked that he's starting.
Coming out with a much more traditional comp, the Hog Sigma, as they try and tiptoe onto the point, but as of right now, SFG got there a little quicker, and kicks have
interesting
out. Glacial down by
approach to this composition by SFG. Generally, with the Rhine Winston, what you do is the Winston acts as the main tank, the Rhine acts as the off tank, in a sense. Where the Winston basically just ints onto someone, like full stop, doesn't stop until one of you is dead, except the rest of the team just follows the leader, and the leader is the monkey in that case. And SFG didn't really do that. It was like Jishua and Nova and a little bit of Glacial, and then Pascal, Jetpack, and I have to assume that's Jazza. We're still like in the backline. Maybe someone was flanking around and they're trying to kill him.
Yeah, this should
but
be a very soft reason.
I can't see it from this angle. So
so
they kind of like half-assed that approach. I mean, they still won the fight, but I think that's just because they were the better players.
On the side of LOVEMUFFIN, when the hook
Which is
came
the main
out,
reason
they
people thought it would be a 3-0, and
using
everyone was right.
another
Although from what I heard, it was a good fight.
coming out, just
We played this too slow. We talked this over as a team.
And now actually picks are coming through on the other side.
Oh Jesus, Target Acquired. Target Acquired is such a weird player.
With a nice double kill on that McCree. Deadlock,
because like if he's on, he's terrifying. But if he's not, he just kind of exists and doesn't do anything, and it's weird.
Now, looks like LOVEMUFFIN takes a point back, but 53% was gained for.
Yeah, that's a good amount of percent. If you're Glock right here, you wait.
I did air on Doom because Jishua is bad.
Oh god. Scary. Look at how many ultimates are from the side of.
Wait for me to carry on Kree though.
Initiate with either Jazz's pulse bomb or
should go like before they even set up, catch them in rotation, and just int. Yeah, it's basically what I've seen. I've seen like upper tier 3 and a few contenders teams play the Rhine Winston. It's basically just full on int. Like one of the teams is going to be dead by the end of it, and hopefully it'll be the other team that's not playing Rhine Winston. Although to be honest, I think I saw like one map of two contenders teams in Gauntlet try and play the Ryan Winston. It was really funny to watch them int on each other. Like, what the fuck is happening? What is Target doing here? Why is he crouching? They don't have anything to punish him. At least they didn't up until Jazza swapped to the Ash. Like, why?
Now Nova switches over to the Sigma.
Want to try it again?
If you're LOVEMUFFIN,
But we were too scared to stick with it since we lost this round. Oh, thanks for the spoilers. Not that it really mattered. I knew that you won this one 2-1. Like, I'm pretty sure LOVEMUFFIN got a point on the board for every single map aside from maybe one.
From the side of SFG. This might be a really hard retake.
Oh, Deadlock can't quite get out the Sigma shield. Was just a little bit too late. So now
interesting engage by Deadlock. I guess non-engage. Whatever that was. I feel like it might have been communicated, but LOVEMUFFIN are too scared or not ready. Either a lack of communication or a lack of guts on the side of the rest of LOVEMUFFIN. I actually held this for a good amount of time. I haven't really been paying attention to the control percentage. Every map was a 2-1. To be fair, to be honest, that's respectable. Not even knowing like what happens the rest of the series yet. Like the fact that they managed to take a point off of San Fran like every single map is respectable considering they have absolutely no top 16 OD players.
They could just basically counter each other's flux or rock him out or something like that. But the main ultimate,
I mean, hell, the fact that they hit third, fourth in playoffs at all is pretty impressive considering who they beat to get there and who they outlasted in general.
Beautiful pulse bomb on the Jepic. No beat available for SFG. The shatter comes out from Jishua, and it is good. Glacial gets 3 picks, but Deadlock is returning them. Glacial actually gets a 4th on this McCree, doing an incredible job, but is it going to be enough? Deadlock is doing so much work. Jepic, is back, and he has the beat down and actually gets the poop onto EOC.
That last fight was tragic.
EOC
it could have been a lot cleaner.
During all this chaos,
but like, LOVEMUFFIN, to their credit, did a really good job of poking and poking before the fight really started. So by the time San Fran got in, they took so much damage it almost didn't matter. Although they did take it back. You lose this round? How the fuck did you lose this round? Don't they just get like the grab of his life? I mean, oh, I'm looking at the wrong team. Okay, Orange get the rally of his life? I don't know. Cancel, okay?
Alive during this entire next fight.
Orange has the rally, so everyone's looking very good.
Oh, Luca should have died there.
How
the fuck did he get over there? The solo trance to save himself. Oh. That was just a little bit of choking from San Fran. He looked like he had a lack of confidence, which makes sense if you were not really feeling the Ryan Winston. Because it's such a weird composition. It like goes against everything that your better judgment says. Just like feed and shoot a singular target, and hopefully it'll die, and we can do that 6 times before we all die.
We were talking about how even with Jepic, the Glocks might have a really dominant performance.
Honestly, I think if you had more practice or confidence in your Ryan Winston,
it was
probably could have taken that round. Because you guys had that final point.
The person I kept saying, like getting those
and solo grab onto the Zen, who you should have known had trance, was probably the final nail in the coffin.
So much survivability in any fight, but now we are back in control center, and this is Junkrat Haven, and the only
I think it was
that has Junkrat
Rydcoast that pointed this out in staff chat. Because I guess like today,
so they might just come out
Diva was disabled because she has the 0 health bug. And I just noticed it because EOC's playing Diva, but like, hopefully that gets fixed before finals in case any teams would want to have run Diva, because that would be tragic. If like they had a set strategy for a map that involved Diva and they couldn't win because of that. Granted, Sigma and Hog have been so meta lately that I feel like most teams are gonna have a backup plan just in case. At least this didn't happen on like Wednesday. But, like that would screw over advanced finals. Deadlock is a freak.
Now it's just the Diva.
Honestly, yeah, he looks ridiculously flexible and pretty confident in everything he plays.
Very ballsy play from Deadlock.
He's
but,
still there. He's
LoveMuffin
just like, nah, guys,
will end
I'll
up
stall. Never
losing
mind, he's
out on
dead.
the point.
But he stalled for so long.
Play from the side. I have to give credit to Juro for splitting up the team of San Francisco Glock so nicely there, but the pin just did not connect where Deadlock wanted to connect. They wanted to connect it at
I was kind of worried when he got picked up by LoveMuffin because they already had like I think 3 or 4 tanks at that point because they had like Pooter, EOC, and Toasty. I think they might have had one more who's been like AFK. But Blue Toxin. I don't know if he's an actual tank or what. But
all these ultimates from the side
I sure know Deadlock like earned that starting spot.
From the side of
I've heard nothing but praise from
this
him.
is going to be extremely difficult. I mean, if you're
Really early window.
If you're SFG, you're just gonna back up into this window.
I
Actually,
wonder what Pascal saw there
rotate all the way
to
around
decide to
to
window.
window doesn't happen. Does FSG see this coming? They do. Oh my god!
Or maybe he thought, if I use this now, I'll get another one mid-fight.
Here comes the shatter from Deadlock. The immortality field from Pascal was.
Not sure why the rest of LoveMuffin didn't run in through the choke with Deadlock. Like he ran in, solo shattered Glacial. But like, why wouldn't the rest of the team run in with him? Probably because it wasn't communicated whatsoever. They were busy avoiding poke, and all of a sudden the enemy Junkrat is solo shattered. They're like, oh shit, there's a choke point.
And just keep them intact right there, and you just can't deal with that spam damage, especially against Reinhardt. So now Juro's Blizzard has to land.
I like the Blizzard,
here, or else they don't get any value.
Glacial gets another early pick though, and a second with the tire.
They didn't get any out of it. Oh no, that's tragic. Oh no, that's all falling apart. They didn't even get anything with the high noon.
Overall, this is looking like
that's just terrible. That probably lost them that, didn't it? They don't have anything else to work with. Window's not going to save a point. They can't even touch.
Because I don't think nobody
even just running the point. Or Deadlock does that. No, never mind, he gets pooped. No, he makes it, okay. Not gonna live long.
Nova is just going to use their Graviton Surge. Oh my god, that was like a mile off. I don't even know what that was. I thought they were going to use it just to keep everybody at bay, and
you just let Jewel run in and get like what, 2.5 kills?
This isn't quite over yet. We have 3 players still up for SFG.
They didn't have a Zarya.
No healers there for them. They have both.
How did he live that long?
And Target
oh my god, and now Target does things.
Oh my god, they almost C9. That was.
Yeah, I think that's why part of the reason why Target's so dangerous is because he's somewhat inconsistent. Like, he didn't exist up until this point in the round, and all of a sudden he just like clears off the rest of the point. And
divided because they have to literally
puts LoveMuffin on the board for this round.
Single fight. They have to play this entire round perfectly from now on to get this build up. And look at this Juro. I think this Doomfist pick is kind of nice. I like it. It's a surprise pick, and you can easily burst down people. But look, they're just using this teleporter to go behind and blow them up.
That's such a long flank for no reason. And it ended in the worst possible scenario where like he didn't accomplish anything, and the rest of his team died while he was on the flank.
With hammer swinging, and it's looking like this should be a pretty easy retake and eventual round victory for the Glock. Taking us to a
I think the big reason that just didn't work,
unless Drew can pull off something
in terms of tracer flank, is just like he was so slow about it.
Yeah, just to let you know, right?
I don't think any of that round was really communicated by LoveMuffin.
I don't know if
because everything they did looked
he definitely tied that, but very interesting
deathmatchy.
We saw first,
if you know what I mean.
LoveMuffin playing so nicely. They looked like they were patient in Garden. They were playing patiently. They were waiting out ultimates. It just looked like they were in sync. In this map, however,
okay, I did turn down the sound.
Control center.
Sometimes I forget to turn down my desktop audio. The casting and all that's just like
maybe it was just
blasting, and I can't hear it because I don't have the stream audio. I don't have my headphones on either.
If they wanted to play Ryan, they probably would have had. Excuse me. They probably would have had Pooter's.
I'd almost expect this round to be a little bit closer because it allows Target to play
but they were forcing the control
to play his quote unquote one trick.
You really can't.
Assuming he's going to play. Are they actually going to?
They're now going to go back.
Are they actually going to play Widow Sim? Okay, maybe not. Okay.
No,
I was gonna say Widow Sim would probably be one of the funkiest things I have
now look at this,
ever
from the side of SFG,
seen.
they have a Symmetra, so they'll go to the point much faster than that. And you know, Hog is kind of a really weird target. Where
yeah, honestly, if I was hosting or streaming this game, I would have just told Jess that I can on his main, or at least an ult that's not that, because I feel for the casters. I'm not listening to the stream audio, but I would simply just not say that name on stream.
The patch out Deadlock, and now
where the fuck was Deadlock? Why was he there?
Just like all of your point presence gone. Juru goes down as well. EOC needs to back out.
LOVEMUFFIN need to
now
back out a lot
SFG
faster than
pushing
that.
in,
They're just like
and they're
standing in
gonna
this
look for more-
courtyard
They're gonna look for more kills
in a
here.
6v3.
Now, usually hog composition,
How do you get
hog
out-
beat composition works really well
do you get
in
outsniped
payload
by a
maps
BAP?
and escort maps because you're always sticking to the payload.
Why was he in a
where
position to get
the
outsniped by a
enemy-
BAP?
In control maps, however, it's not really
Oh
the
my
best
God.
choice because everybody just sits, tight at the back of the control point, and it's
I like the
harder
echo swap.
to get these picks or point pressure
I
without
don't
taking poke.
like
and I'm
the
talking
Brig running in
Boba
by
gets a pick
herself.
right there.
You can't just let
Okay, there's a lot of
people
Papega
die
happening
like
this
that
round.
to Sigma. I mean, there's not really much else to say. I don't know what happened to K Orange if they got caught out of
They're
position
wasting
or
so much
whatever,
time by
but
just
that is-
staggering themselves
that's just
so
the
hard.
fight.
They're just letting
You have to
Pascal
understand,
snipe
this is the
people
expert
with
level
as a
division
BAP.
we're talking about. Everybody
Like,
here
just don't
is
peek.
quite a high level player in this game. So when they're playing as a team and you're playing it at this level of gameplay right now, you can't really afford to make these small granular mistakes that you might get away in lower ranks. They will catch you out and punish you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Drew has swapped out onto
If you're going
the Echo,
to the
trying
lengths
to
of
get
taking
some
that angle, why not
damage
just
from
push through the
side.
shield
A
at that
lot of
point?
really split play coming
Oh,
out
don't
from,
flex here.
LOVEMUFFIN.
Unless you can actually
K
kill
Orange
them.
is down, but that is a
Okay, no, that was
massive
worth it.
Gravitic
I wasn't
flex
expecting the
EOC, it gets
rest of LOVEMUFFIN to
Drew,
collapse on it. What the
and
fuck,
inside,
Joshua?
but Jishua has fallen off of the map. That's really unfortunate, and now
I'm expecting that to be a tactical reset because that
by
fight was
Transcendence,
admittedly lost.
and now it's just the May and the support.
We walk forward.
LOVEMUFFIN finding the point, but that's a solid 80 plus
Ooh, that was a nice shot.
already.
We
And
wanted
now,
Jazza to
no,
wall, but he
SFG
didn't
wants
for
to
some
fight this
reason.
with the Senator turret
Oh god.
and with,
I mean, you're already in
the
one fight
window.
territory, so you don't even need to
Visualize
use any of your
down
ults.
two, but the kills are still coming in.
He just
So,
turned his brain
Flip
off.
it, but that is 86% to SFG, and they have
Honestly,
quite the
if he did wall there, I could totally see who just won that fight.
And if you're LOVEMUFFIN, that
Because LOVEMUFFIN didn't have any useful ults at the time being. Now they do, because you guys just staggered in trying to get it to 99.
Ultimate. Now, if you're looking at the ultimates from both teams,
But I could see the communication.
What?
What?
Side, and there's some explosive ultimates divided. We're going to see a really messy.
Oh my god. Jazz is just trolling you guys. Like, no, we're gonna win anyways, it's fine.
If he could click heads, he could definitely make things work right now.
Interesting
I don't know
wall.
if it was noticed,
I guess it
but
prevents the
Jazz
spam
and
damage,
Cage
but why not
actually
put it
mess up.
like
They
halfway through a
teleport there.
doorway?
They were probably
so
trying
that
to get straight up on the point,
you can like
but
push
it just
into
didn't
the
happen.
point,
He does
you know?
use his
It doesn't
ultimate
do
here,
anything
but
for the
he's
choke.
not going to. LOVEMUFFIN is gonna go
It's
down
just
the
there.
way. Drew
Watch
is
this
gonna
wall
use
here
the-
too, yeah.
oh, no, with the-
Yeah, I think you're on like a
the shadow
5-second
position
delay or something like that,
right
or whatever
there.
YouTube's
Rachel
native
goes down,
delay
K
is.
Orange is traded out. Paskowitz a pick on the EOC. Paskowitz the second pick now and the target acquired. The picks coming in for SFG once again. It's now just Lupical and Deadlock on the point.
That's like the second.
Could be SFG.
That's the second window Pascal's had in like 45 seconds. That's fucking crazy.
Going to SFG.
Yeah, no, you
It
guys
looks
just
like there
win.
is
But
some matches coming up, but I don't know if they could really make it. UOC falls so early.
interestingly enough,
I was just
Pascal's
gonna say,
tracking
on the
is so
target
good that that
acquired
actually
makes
made
a
a
miracle
really good
happen.
camera movement.
We're not gonna see
Like that's the kind of camera
another
movement I
just
try
like
to
that.
make
I
when I'm
think SFG
spectating third
really
person.
take this
And Pascal just does it naturally while
match,
aiming.
or like this round at least, this map with the really convincing
Interesting first map.
aggressiveness that we've
Honestly,
seen. They know they want to take this aggressive fight. They
could have been
want to
winnable
get up and personal.
Or LOVEMUFFIN if they
want
just
to
kind of
really
like
contest all the
coalesced and
time,
actually had a
you can
plan.
see why
But the
this
2
team
rounds that they
does
lost, they
this.
just
They're
looked
confident in their players.
lost.
And they know
Like
they
they
can
didn't
do
know what they
this.
were doing.
Even though they messed up that symmetrical teleport at the very end, there it didn't matter. They wanted to commit to the fight no matter what, and that's where you.
Is tough going down 2-0
Okay.
on this
Hollywood,
map,
interesting.
where you should be winning
I always
on
enjoy it when you
position
guys
is even worse.
don't choose King's Row for once.
Yeah, and even
Don't get me wrong, I love King's Row, but
when
like
we were talking about individual.
I also
tactics
enjoy
too,
watching
I think
Hollywood.
They have a great shot at taking Hollywood, and they will be, attacking first once it was their map pick, losers map pick. So LOVEMUFFIN did pick this map. Well, however, San Francisco Glock get to pick the side they want to either defend or attack, and they wanted to defend first. So this should be interesting, but we don't really see deadlock on this.
No, Deadlock is
Orisa
actually.
pick.
Holy crap.
Deadlock
I think I was dehydrated. I just downed like
So any problem?
90% of
Yeah,
Look at
and
the
my
other
water
side.
bottle that holds a
Yeah.
liter.
SFG is
Ooh.
with a comp that
Okay.
honestly is kind of
For a second I saw
to mirror.
San Fran was
what,
going like
LOVEMUFFIN tries to run.
Zen on. I was like, okay, there's no way they're throwing that hard.
To have any chance.
Thankfully, they're not. Mercy
I
Bap.
think this is a
I
very
haven't seen
interesting
that support duo in a long
composition.
time.
Joshua being on the
Since
Hog,
like one of the
that
original
gives a lot of
double
big
shields.
potential for your own team. Also, on top of that, it kind of puts this other team
Pretty
in
standard
a
from LOVEMUFFIN.
weird position where they have to always be aware of their line of sight. But the thing is that they're playing double shield, so unless they could like decimate the shield, which they're doing right now, they could easily get the hooks.
That
and
hook
look
on the
for
deadlock could
potential
have been
picks.
nasty
That's still
if he didn't have his
True. It's, I think, dinked there
his
by
gold
either
up.
Jazza or Glacial, and
What
it's
the
not good. But and
Where
Jazza
was
wins, so
Target
Sniper
even? Was he on the
1v1
flank, like,
first up
far on his
against
left?
Target. Juru,
I gotta see that again.
I
Hold on.
think dinked there by either
Where was he?
Jazza or Glacial.
Where
and
was
it's
he?
not
Was he like?
Doing
Oh,
right
okay,
now,
he's over
they
there.
could
Gotcha.
easily get the
It's
hooks
like
and look for a potential
far on
pick,
his
but
right
that's
side. He
still
wasn't even through the choke
true.
yet.
It's, I think,
Oh,
dinked
he was
there
poking
by
that doorway?
either, Jazza or Glacial, and
Okay,
it's
look, as someone
not
who's
good, but
like
and Jazza wins,
gold,
so Sniper
that's one of the first
1v1
places I look
first up
when I
against
don't see
Target.
someone.
Juru goes
So
down to
like,
Joshua,
that was a
and
little bit
DPS
of an
losing
ego
their
peak,
respective
dare I
duels.
say.
It's just kind of get out or die for LOVEMUFFIN.
Yeah,
Like,
and
maybe
now
if
they have to just kind of leave this
EOC had left
position
him a
and
shield
walk
there.
back and taking damage as they do so. But I think I like.
But otherwise, it's
the
such a
pick,
dangerous
the Baptiste slash Zenyatta pick here. It's also like a lot of range damage. a
dangerous
lot of
angle to
safety
peek. I was
coming out.
watching
But if
LOVEMUFFIN
you're
swap their
running
comp,
sniper composition,
or attempts
right,
to, before
especially target acquiring
settling on
Widow,
just the.
you might.
What the hell is this
just
called?
want
I've heard it
to,
called like pig's feet.
swap off to that Mercy because it just gives you.
That sounds disturbing to me. I'm just gonna call it Sig Hog.
Not to mention if you get picked off early, like they did, Target Acquire did last fight, your Mercy could just res you easily.
Oh, that was a nasty hook.
What a hook from Joshua.
Oh wait, I remember seeing that in highlights too. Yep. Okay. Oh, that was actually pretty good too. 1-for-1, except Target hits Pascal.
Jazza,
Probably jump.
who got
Like
hooked
mid-jump.
there. But but the kills are returned, so LOVEMUFFIN is very much in this fight.
Interesting that
Deadlock
K-Orange
goes
decided
down,
to use
does
his window
not
here.
help things at all. Now the
Especially at that
advantage
angle.
goes to SFG.
I don't feel like they
But
would
no
have
hook
ever
again
gotten
from
much
Joshua
value out of it. Like obviously they didn't.
It's not going to take
They just
him
kinda sat
down,
there.
But he's very much proving his
But like the
dominance
angle
on
it was
the
at was
Dog
just
pick right
oh,
now.
that was a nasty
Almost, I
hook.
think, out of LOVEMUFFIN gets
Okay,
forced back once
Joshua
again.
kind of pulling a super.
And with the exception of the window, okay, Target getting a pick on the Glacial is good. They might just push right
Target's
back
actually
in here. Pascal
doing
picked
fairly
off-
well.
picked
I've
up
noticed
by
him a lot
the
more this map.
Valley Field and gets finished.
Did he?
So great job, Jazz.
I just noticed he just solo fluxed Pascal, didn't he?
It's still
that's funny.
anyone's game right now, but Jeffet goes in a little bit
Nice
too far
juke.
with the Valkyrie. Lupa
Still
goes
gonna die, but nice juke.
pick him off. Here comes the lift from Nova.
Oh,
It's kind of into
that
what's looking
transcendence.
like a lost fight. The picks are flowing right now for LOVEMUFFIN.
was actually pretty good.
Yeah, and
Otherwise,
this
K-Orange
should
would have died.
be-
And I
this
don't
should
know.
be really the
Yeah, it looks like a lot of LOVEMUFFIN are backing up,
take right
or a
here
lot of San Fran are backing up. So
LOVEMUFFIN, right?
knowing you guys,
It
you would
was
have
kind of-
recontested.
kind of weird when I was looking at EOC
If they didn't have a BAP.
just to it was just solely to kill Corinth right there. Yeah,
Oh,
Pascal right there.
a
It was interesting,
little
but
bit
looks like now they're
cocky
back on
there.
the flow again. This is where Widow Target Acquires Widow will really
Like you
shine.
gotta assume
This
the
is where
tanks
they
are
have
going
all
up
the
high
upside,
ground.
all
Where the
high
fuck is
ground they
Target?
can utilize to their advantage.
Why is
But
he
I do
taking
see
these
Jeffrey-
angles?
Jeffrey's, Mercy has been getting a lot.
Oh my
a
god,
lot
dude!
of
Every
value.
time the
So,
camera goes to him,
I
it's like,
think
why
Corinth
is he here?
will be staying on this Zenyatta, but
Actually, I
think
remember.
the Mercy would
I think it
not
was
be
the
a
last
bad choice
LOVEMUFFIN
for you,
Chengdu
especially
game
the fact that
where
you have
Bun
Juro
kept getting
on this
picked
Echo
off,
just flying around, giving a
or
lot
would
of
pick off
over
Target.
there.
It was going back and forth a lot, but like
Yes,
every single
Jeffet
time
picks
Bun
off
was like,
Jeffet,
"Why
but
are
he
you
is
here?"
traded off. Jeffet kind of
And it was just so
caught out
funny
in
to
the
me.
middle of nowhere right now as he pushes back, but Lupical, the bloodthirsty Zenyatta, takes out Jazza.
Okay,
and
Lupical.
onto his other side, Pascal. Incredible play from the Zenyatta. of
SFG are
LOVEMUFFIN.
so split right now.
Yeah, just really popping
Oh.
out right now. But other than that, George
course,
just gets picked up.
because
right
you're
away.
split,
This
you
is
can
the
get away
second
with
time
shit
they get
like that.
picked early on.
Joshua's whole
What was the point of
hog,
that
and
hog?
now
That whole
K-Orange is
hog?
going to put in the,
Like, other than to get
he's
them
gonna
off
put
of
in
cart,
the
but, like,
window, but not
I guess
really
maybe to
another
stall
one
for
take advantage
respawns?
of it. There is used to melt down the
If I had to
bob,
guess.
so Jazz's bob is
I don't know
goes
if I would've
down,
hogged
but
there.
Glacial on
Regardless.
swap onto the Tracer,
You know, you can just
is
kind of like
taking out Widow,
hide
and
around the
same
corner.
as Segno on the K-Orange.
save the
Now,
ult.
SFG push up. They won this fight.
Yeah, that was a decisive win, and it wasn't as
Oh,
expensive
wait.
as it looked. The only ultimate that was invested right
I know
there
the
was
outcome
Nova's
of this
ultimate.
then because
Epic, Pascal, and Glacier are looking to build another
push
ultimate.
tanks
Glacier
into
has
Nova. Oh,
actually
is
been
Nova
a
back there? I did not even see
very
him.
big nuisance for this team of Love Muffin right now. They've always been
Praxis has a
target
lower bit rate, so it's hard to see things through walls, especially the blue outlines. Especially on Hollywood.
Position themselves and
It's a
take
bright
shots
map.
as they're doing. And Lupico also has to watch out for Glacial left and right. And oh my god, that's a huge one.
I don't know.
I love
if
when
we're
people go on the
expecting
elevator and
Roadhog
just
to
get like
gambling
booped off
like
immediately.
that.
Like, well,
Pascal was just sitting there,
time well spent.
and Deadlock was ready.
What was that
Joshua
hook?
with a nice
What
hook
the
on
fuck?
KO,
That's like the third time I've
takes him
said
out,
that
but
for you
it's
too.
not
Like, what the?
enough. He
Like,
gets taken out
what was your
himself.
hook accuracy for
Really nice
Hollywood?
2K.
It feels like it's like
Jethic, however,
80%.
has managed to find the.
There's no
sorry,
way he
the
won
Reds,
V1s. Okay, never mind.
But the team comes
gonna
back.
say there's
nicely
no
done,
way.
But it's Jazza
Like,
though.
I don't put it
Finds
past him,
Zero.
but
This is such
it's
a
just one of
weird
those things
play
where
style coming
you don't
out
expect to see it.
from,
Oh, that was nasty.
From SFG.
This is going
forcing,
so back and
Love Muffin
forth.
to pick their
I could see why
battles,
Love Muffin
and
didn't
they get
cap
taken
second
out.
here.
I'm
They were
pretty
the ones who
sure
needed
Love
to-
Muffin
needed
are
to
not
stay together.
I can't tell if they're taking this seriously or not because I don't know if you're watching.
Whereas you guys can just kind
After
of be
Jeff got
wherever
that
and
res
just
right there at the back
split
line,
them off one at a time.
Lupico was caught out, and then we seen a Flux come out from USC trying to save Lupico, and then Lupico on top of that. So that's two key ultimates that they just lost trying to save somebody that didn't even
Like,
really matter.
where is
They could have just easily reset. And
Love Muffin
this
trying to
fight-
push in
this
from,
fight might
you know?
just go
You have Deadlock who
like,
just
in
got a nice
favor of
hook
SFG.
onto Glacial there, but like
Two
the rest of the
quick
team
picks,
was
though,
still
out
coming
from
through
Love
that
Muffin.
first choke
Very
point.
good start to this fight, looking a lot more
Like,
physical
there's
than the one before, but
either
two
no
picks
communication or
right
no follow-up
back.
on the communication. Probably the
Deadlock
former.
manages to get
I
the
found
pick
it's pretty
off
rare that when
Jeff
something
Dick,
like that is
so
communicated, it's not
decent
followed
stuff,
up
but
on.
Bob is in position to
Aside
do
from like in,
much
you know, my
work right now.
but at this
I
rank
don't
and even
think
like
there's much
Diamond and
that
above, most
Love
people actually
Muffin
listen to
can
calls.
do. They're kind of caught in the canteen. No one can even touch the point.
I was just
And that is round one, I think.
chaotic.
Pretty disappointing.
It felt
attack
like Love
for
Muffin
Love
kind of lost track of the
and
objective.
Again, I really think this.
Because I kept trying to
this-
take
they
these
could have
fights and
taken
like
this
find
second point
picks.
really easily if
I'm assuming
only they had Flux
what the
Transcendence available to
thought
them.
process
I
was
don't know what that
was something along the
was
lines of
at
like,
the very back
we can't just push cart
behind
because they keep picking
Bank
us
right
off, so
there.
let's
It was
pick them
really
off
weird.
first.
It was
Like
really
it's
weird.
Except
It
then
kind
that
of
failed
started
because
with
it
Jethic, who
got
decided to fall
exactly
all
as
the way
creative
back
as the
there.
defense
Yeah.
wanted.
Right on the Joshua.
And then they could just
And
continue to
then
pick
Jeff
people
pulls
off
out their gun
instead of
and
having to
started
worry about
trying
card
to
also.
look for a
Because they
kill
almost
on
cap
Lupico.
second, like in terms of
Then
distance.
You see a Flux come out from
I've never
EOC
noticed that billboard
and a
before.
Transcendence. Like,
Also,
if
why
you're
the fuck
Jeff
is the
Dick,
Praxis
you're so
looking at
happy
it?
about
Why are you just
Literally,
going
you
back
just
and
got
forth? You're
res
not
and
spectating a
wasted
scrim.
two
You're streaming a
crucial
match.
ultimates. Like, we're talking about ultimates
That sort of
that
stuff irks me.
literally
Maybe
win
it's just because I try to
team
be like as
fights.
really
Just
smooth as
taken
possible with the
out
camera
the team
movements.
of Love Muffin,
Try and make
and
it
it was
look
just
like
really a
really
very
nice.
bad and
And then you have this.
it was just a very
It's like,
bad and unconsidered play from the side
okay.
of Love Muffin because guess what? A
He's
next fight
pinging
comes
me.
in, they don't have a Transcendence available for Nova's Flux, and they don't have a Flux on their own to get any kills to set it up, even a win condition for the fight. So I think if they really
other
consider
things
these ultimate,
I'll worry about later.
ultimate usage that I was talking about before this match started, I was saying if they polish these ultimate usages up, especially from the
Are you
tanks,
actually going to run
and
out on
just play around
on
position,
Zarya
around
Sigma?
ultimates, economy,
I haven't
ultimate
seen
economy,
this
they could win
composition
this,
since
but
like Sigma
doesn't look
first
like they're
came
really
out.
going that path.
Yeah,
This is a little bit of a
Nova's gonna be
trip.
walking out on the
I'm very
Zarya
curious. I have no idea how this could play
instead
out,
of potentially a Roadhog or a
especially
Wrecking Ball.
against Big Hog.
I'm not 100% sure how to
I'm actually really
think of
interested
that
now.
one.
Ooh, that was a
Obviously,
nice
it would do a ton
juke.
of damage if
Damn.
charged up well enough.
Joshua was just on top
But
of his
now,
game this
here
match.
we go.
Damn.
SFG has decided to take the staircase up to the high ground, but get hit with some sticky bombs from Juru, so that's going to force them to back up a
Ooh,
bit. And Lupico
melted.
has found
Kinda
Jethic
stood in
out,
place
but
too long.
On the other hand, Nova has found EOC.
I figured a lot of damage would come in, but I wasn't expecting that much
Someone on
burst
either
damage.
side,
Oh,
and
there's no
there
way you
goes
bring this
Jazza
back.
winning the 1v1 against target acquired once again. He gets rezzed, but Jazza
Oh,
makes
Jazza's
Hey,
better.
Whoa.
from
I
Jazza.
played so bad.
That's the
See,
kind of
like, the
pop-up
thing is,
potential
every
that
time the
we're
stream
looking for.
spectates you, you get these, like, insane hooks or, like, a juke. So it makes you look good.
It's just like, it really comes down
And that's
to
all that
you
really
get
matters.
Love Muffin gets
What the stream
ultimate,
catches.
right? You literally
Just ask Empty.
kill the enemy team's
He is
mercy.
still
That's a
known
huge pick.
as
But then
speed
they
only
just get
Lucio,
so
despite the fact that he's a hit scan
overconfident,
DPS,
and
who was just
overselling
forced onto main
their
support
line right there
for a
gets
season
really
when
good
they didn't,
gloves
when
eventually.
Rio
Oh my
didn't
gosh.
have main
The-
support.
The Nano onto the Zarya to pick off
the
the
fuck?
Echo in midair. That's so funny to me. But
But he
K
just
Orange
gets
is
messed
there
up.
with the res.
We don't know how
onto
to get
Drew,
out.
So it's not.
Unless
I
he was
don't
looking
know
for
if that
Lupical,
was
but I'm pretty sure he
necessarily
watched him
worth
walk
it.
around the
We have
corner.
a Sort of Echo v Widow fight
There's
going
no
on
way he
between
survives
teams.
this, though. There's too many people looking at him.
Skirmishes going on right now, and people are getting traded out. Nova and Jupiter
As bad as it would have been,
traded each other.
it actually kind of would have been funny to watch him just
I'm so
grab
interested
those
to
3
go
people
back
so that
to
they're
the
stuck
VOD
there,
of this
so
game
that
and
the
go
cart
through
can push up.
Steam
Would have been
and
a
just see
terrible
people
play, but it would
talk
have been
about
funny
how
as
this is
hell.
a quick play match, because this is what really play feels like at this point.
Or LOVEMUFFIN, I
you know,
would
not
absolutely...
really a lot of team
Okay, yeah, they
synergy
did it right
coming
as
out
I was
from
saying. I would
either
absolutely
team. It
use
just
one of
feels
the
like they're
portals
messing
in
around
this
at
fight
this
and save
point.
the
Other
other.
than that, look at Lupical.
Jesus, Lupical.
Lupical has been doing so much for the team.
He really
right now.
stepped
Now,
up this
EOC
game.
with a big lift is going
Feels a lot
to
colder than it
allow
is.
LOVEMUFFIN to stabilize.
That's a
right
dangerous
now.
strafe.
They have to hold this corner for 4
Strafing in
minutes.
a
Not
straight
impossible,
line
but that's
in
going
front
to
of
be
an
very
Ashe.
difficult.
In front of Jazza Ashe.
And, look at how close
That's
the cart
almost
is
a
to,
death wish.
like,
What the fuck?
pretty close.
Did
Literally
they
just
not
has to go
notice
around the corner.
Pascal?
And you're there close to the victory. But
Oh
the
my
ultimates
god.
we have to look on for
That's
is
actually
Nova's
great.
Graviton Surge here. If Nova lands a huge Graviton Surge, this will be all.
Sneaky grandma.
It's just that they need to kill Lupical before they even try that. Because the Transcendence will be available to counter.
Oh, that was nice.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the
Nice dupe to save himself, though. At the very least, he gets out alive. I don't think he'll be able to get Bucks, maybe? No? Okay, he does, actually. He gets healed up, so... That's impressive. Oh, Nova was, like, a few feet away from getting out of that. I don't know if he would have survived, because he was kind of stuck in a corner.
For LOVEMUFFIN, sorry, but it was a pretty expensive one.
Yeah, definitely expensive, but I did like the patience coming out from the side of Lupical. Everybody wasted.
Interesting thing is that
not
with
wasted, used their
these, like, really...
other than
That was a
Lupical
nice
already,
sleep.
and
With these
it's just such a
more
crucial
pick-based
thing,
compositions, I've noticed that, like,
because guess
Zen
what? Now they
players
have that Transcendence
tend to have a
ready
tough time
for
figuring
this
out when they want to use their
potential grab that
Transcendence.
might win the fight.
Oh, here comes the grab, though. Lupical will have the Transcendence.
Interesting
counter,
grab.
But he ends up falling off of the building
As I say,
afterwards, actually.
having a tough time finding when they want to use their Transcendence, he uses it in, like, the one spot where he could. I wish I recorded the comms from the entire match at this point. We're just hard trolling and laughing our asses off.
The end of this second map of Hollywood.
I know some teams in the past have recorded their comms and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, okay. Deadlock
Less
is
teams
there. Deadlock is there with
tend
the touch.
to
Drew is immediately
record their own
down on
VODs
that
now,
Echo.
as we do it.
All the picks
Although next
come
season they might have to,
through,
'cause
and
I'm not
yeah,
sure if we're
this
going to be able to
is
get
going
every
to
single
be
game like we did this season.
with a fairly
It's
victory on
I'll probably end up talking about it more in
going
the
up 2-0 in the series.
staff press conference. Probably
So
next
now
week.
we talked about you highlighted
Okay, last
right,
map.
divided at the very
I know what
beginning
happens
how-
here.
So much high ground.
They get
for
second held,
potential
but
snipers and
I'm curious to see how
flankers
far
to
they
take
push it in the
advantage of
second,
right
because there's a
now.
few different places I could see it holding.
Yeah, and like you said, this was last time these teams met.
Then,
SFC did go up
onto
2-0,
the
and LOVEMUFFIN
matches
brought it
that
to
I'm
map 5.
really interested in
It's
seeing.
sort of coming down right
Not
now
going to do
to
Cap
if,
versus EC.
SFG will be able
It was
to
a close
close it
game, but
down
like it was
early
also expected to be a
or
close game.
in for a repeat.
If I have
Yeah,
extra
that really
time
comes down to
afterwards,
this
I
right now.
might,
They
but I'm
did pick
expecting
defense
to
first, so
just be
it's
tired as hell.
attack
I
from
found
the
that like
side of
3
LOVEMUFFIN
VODs is
again.
usually the limit
It
of
looks
like
like
where my
Pooter
voice starts
is
to give
not
out, or I'm just
playing
tired and want to do something else.
interesting enough. Like, you know, I
Yeah.
was
Because this is
hoping
already
to
going to be
see
like probably a
them play
3-4 hour stream.
or see some
Because I plan on going
swaps
through
going on, but looks
each
like
of the
they
other
are
games
sticking
at
to
normal
this
speed instead of
team
2 times
composition,
speed.
the team lineup they really favor of right now. Juro and Target Acquire on their
PC
signature
kind of rolled the
champions
maps
right
they
now.
want. I kind of heard it was like
They're
back and
on
forth, where like one team would roll and then the other team would roll.
Let's see
Yeah.
if they
And those
could
kinds of games are just kinda
out
boring to me.
damage and out, pick the opposing DPS duo Glacial and Jazza.
All right. I mean,
No real
this
surprises here
is
in terms of
it right now
compositions.
for
Again with the
LOVEMUFFIN.
Sig
There are
Zarya.
0 lives on the line
From the sound of it, you
here
guys
on
weren't taking
out.
it very seriously by this point.
This is
They-
do or die. Like, it
Yeah,
really is.
very much do or die. EOC gets on top and gets a pretty nice rock.
Realto is super close. I don't know. I'm just going off of what I heard.
I
I haven't actually checked out the match. Obviously, I was either casting or streaming the other match. I forget which one. Maybe both. One of the games I did both, that was a nice shot.
Opens it up with a nice pick
I don't
on
know.
the
I do
Jazza.
so much production that it's hard to tell. Like, I remember being at certain games, but as to whether I streamed or casted or did what, like, I couldn't tell you.
And now just like that,
I think I've literally done
LOVEMUFFIN is
about
back.
triple,
Very
not
interesting
triple,
enough.
a little bit
I'm
more
still
than double
considering why
anyone
they
else
are
in terms
running
of
this
like
hog
production
pick, right?
stuff
So
this season.
the hog feed pick works really well on pick compositions when you're playing around little corners and stuff like that. And I said that in escort maps it's a good pick, but not really on Rialto when you're going up against a high damage characters like Glacial, who's running the Echo, and
Interesting that
Jazza, who's
Glacial
on that
decided to stick on
patch.
to
So
the
you're going to get
Echo,
NT'd by
especially with double
Pascal. They're
sniper.
going
Like
to
it's
burn you down.
a little bit
It's
more
just
tricky
no
to
answer from your side because
hit with
a
Hanzo,
Sigma
but like
shield is just not enough to
that's
block
still
out
an
them
extra
from
threat you have to worry about.
different
His boop,
points of
Ishua
view.
should drop.
But target
Never mind, he's just gonna big dick the high ground.
follows right after. I mean, they just kind of sat in high ground and brawled for a minute.
Okay,
and
now he
eventually
dies.
It just seemed like LoveMuffin
Res
ran
coming
out of
in,
resources,
probably?
and this fell.
Yeah, because once I talked about it, once that Sigma shield
I do
breaks,
kind of feel
there's
for
not
Baxis.
really anything stopping
Games like these
the
where it just gets
healers from
into
taking
like
damage or even getting
chaos
flanked
pick
by,
comps. It's so hard to decide who to
Glacial, that he
spectate.
actually did a really good job
How more often than
flanking,
not, I
getting
usually
that
spectate the
Glacial
tanks
pick.
because it's like, okay, this is the one stable thing. This doesn't rely on the DPS getting picks.
With some huge kills on the Juru and Deadlock, and now, okay, ults are coming out from SFG. It was looking hopeful for a moment, but SFG has stamped their foot down once again and forced them back to spawn.
Yeah, that was just such a good fight for SFG too. They only invested one ult.
Yeah,
literally
both
one
support
ult.
teams came out.
A lot of
from,
swaps coming in.
Yeah.
From LoveMuffin there. Must have been a
LoveMuffin just
really
kind of
good,
killing their ult economy at
really
this
good
point.
anti-nade from
Although I think
Pascal.
K-Orange just used his
Yeah, there
Valk.
was a nice anti-need catching off a lot of people, and now look at this target acquired.
This game was this game just a roll.
Can't really do anything against all this spam
It was
damage coming out
decisive,
from
but I
the
wouldn't
side
say a
of
complete
SFG.
roll.
And it was a good fight because look, you only
Because
used
every
one
map went to
sniper,
2 to
both
1.
support ultimates, and
And in all
divide a
honesty,
very high
given the context,
fraction. Now Nova could easily just
I don't
grab
think
and
very
end
many
this right
people were
here.
expecting LoveMuffin to do anything against San Fran. So the fact that they were able to take like a point on every single map is interesting. At the very least, to see like what San Fran did wrong as opposed to what LoveMuffin did right. But they are doing some
just
good.
in complete control right now.
On like an
Glacial is
individual
gonna use
basis.
his duplicate to try and
Don't
take on target acquired himself.
think they were like quite together
That's
as a
really
team
funny.
compared to
But he will eventually go.
like their
Yeah,
quarterfinals
that's
match against
really
Z9. I think if that LoveMuffin showed up,
right
this
there,
actually could have
because
been
now
a
target acquired is not going to be
really tight
really
series.
getting in line aside with the point until
Granted,
like 30
I
seconds
can't
on
say
left.
like
And look at this,
if
the only
and when
ultimate
SFG
that,
would have
LoveMuffin
like
have
turned it
worked
on and
with
really
EOC is Flux.
showed
So
up.
either EOC lands a beautiful Flux here, brings it back, or nothing.
Just judging like
we will see a
the
3-0.
LoveMuffin that played Z9 in the quarters versus this SFG that's kind of memeing around, it could be a close series.
As well. Now Jetpick has to choose which one he wants to try and res, but now it's a little too late. Lubrical and target acquired continue to get picks. And it's looking like, especially with that late fill of that, oh my gosh, you see how close that deadlock came to getting slept
That
off
was
the
so
map?
close
That
to an
was
environmental.
glorious.
That would have been really, really awful. But I
It
think
seems
are
like
they going to recontest?
SFG, they
No.
have chosen to not recontest here, and they're going to go ahead and take their chances on point B. But it got down to overtime, and we also such a defensive-heavy map.
If you haven't noticed, I also
And,
positioned
you know,
the
if
order
you
of the
are SFG,
VODs
you're still good because
that I'm
guess
going
what? You
in
still have your
from
Flux ready, and that's when it's
expected
coming out right now.
outcome
But I don't
to
think
almost
Jetpick
unexpected outcome to
Jetpick
complete
goes down, and so
upset.
Jazza, EOC
Oh, that was a
traded,
nice
but
shot.
Target getting the pick onto Pascal. This should be just
What? What was that?
LoveMuffin pushing the cart forward some more.
Divided. I think I gave them the caster's curse. You know,
I
every
was
time
Nova
I
there.
said they're not going to get
I
a
guess trying to
pick
get out.
or something's not going to happen, they just prove me wrong. And this is why I love this squad of LoveMuffin so much, because when times get desperate, when things need to happen, they connect. Target acquire connects, Juro connects, EOC connects. So this is why I love watching this team, because they're such a clutch team. They always pull this thing right out their sleeve and just seem to win games that are not winnable.
Oh man, but Bob just kind of thrown out there manages to find K-Orange. That
Just
is,
walk up to him
I
and
mean,
punch
that-
him.
I feel like that just can't happen as a Baptiste to get picked off by Bob, just kind of thrown in the middle of your team like that. And that pick alone has forced LoveMuffin back.
Yep, and
I'm actually surprised they don't cap second. Looking at the ult economy and everything,
Deadlock and target acquired.
Either
because you
SFG
don't
pull
wanna
off
waste
some
any
like
time.
clutch
You only
ass,
have about 60 seconds
God
left
knows what,
by the time you even
or
get
LoveMuffin
close
just
to
kind of
the
choke it
clock.
out
So any
and
time
use their
wasted
ults
right
too
now
early.
is not a good choice. But look at this. LoveMuffin might just be able to take this point back because they have 3 ultimates to work with. One of them being
They're
Transcendence.
so split right now,
But on the
and they're
side
wasting so
of
much time.
oh,
He took what could have been a quick fight and a slow
That
fight
is not.
to
That's unfortunate.
just a quick
Now the
fight.
picks continue to come
They
in
can't even get across the
for
bridge.
SFG.
yeah.
That is the.
That's tragic.
That's the fight, and now 30
Target needs to
seconds
swap.
left on the card. I mean, silver lining,
ASAP.
no ultimates were used.
Now he's
on the
gonna
side
stick
of
on the Widow.
LoveMuffin, so they still have
Honestly,
one solid push to try and get across point B.
Ash or Kree at this point
Joshua
would probably
does
be
have
better.
their Flux ready,
Soldier
so if
even.
Lupico could stay alive. Oh, Mo.
Anyone
never mind.
even touch?
Joshua goes down,
delete him.
Red's back up.
Are they
he
just,
has
like,
his
forgetting
flux,
about the point?
But Lupico is there with the Transcendence, so a lot of
I mean, they're
ultimates
getting
coming
kills,
down,
but they're okay.
Deadlock's
Someone does
lines
contest.
actually are massive. They've
But
got
someone is
Joshua
there.
and Shepik.
Ooh.
Lotion trades out Juru, but target acquired with headshot. So that's what he says. So
Okay, well, finally the kills are starting to roll in, but
Lupico continuing to get picks.
they're already in
onto
overtime. It's
Pascal,
gonna take
and
one
this is going to be,
good fight, and SFG have so much
gonna be
time
LoveMuffin probably
to like
pushing up and
collect themselves and get
capturing
ready.
point B as well. But there's
Yeah,
gonna
Ooh,
be a
nano
recontest.
dash.
There's
Yep,
gonna
I
be
can
a
see how this
recontest
ended.
here From,
Ooh,
from
damn. Nice shutdown though.
SFG. Nova's bomb is nullified.
I don't think he's
by
hitting
the
too many other
Immortality
shots though.
field, and trades are coming in from both sides, but it's currently Jazza
No.
who got a 3K, and that is it.
Unfortunate but
Recontest
expected.
successful from SFG.
SFG had
The recon
so
test
much
right-
time in their hands to just
right there looked
collect
kind of
themselves and get
sloppy
ready for
getting from
a
SFG. There
quick
were some picks coming out.
stop to that round.
But for some reason, Jepic was allowed to get inside the entire brawl, right, while facing 2 tanks, EOC and Deadlock, and got a res on Jazza. So them to be, but it's just like then when that comes on, you take a mistake. Want to play more? They win better control and better
Okay.
understanding of how the situation works.
Pulling out the attack Torb, huh?
Very interesting comp selection from SFG. They've gotten the double shield and the Torb, but they were not expecting that from Deadlock.
That's interesting.
Oh my
Deadlock
gosh,
didn't get the
Nova
credit for
taking
that?
off the
Vaxis,
Rialto
what are you
bridge,
looking at?
and
What are you
that is-
looking at?
Okay, good start there for LoveMuffin. Joshua goes down as well. Lupico finds Pascal, and all right, good start there.
I think.
Okay,
LoveMuffin
and here
are-
comes the
I mean,
swaps.
SFGs are just having some fun, man.
I can see the exact moment where it's like,
Messing
okay, let's
around
actually try.
a little bit because they know like the amount of lead they have is amazing, but they can't mess around too much because picks like that from Deadlock will come around and win
That was
them the
almost a
fight.
really nice hook. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
the cart
Deadlock
breaks
now
it
in a bit of
nowadays.
trouble, pulled back, and now the tank line of LoveMuffin are forced back into the safe embrace of the Immortality Field from K Orange. They have backed up to the second corner now, but Juru has been swept up by Pascal and goes down. Beautiful sleep dart from the Ana player of SFG.
Already,
And
this defense
Glacial
is
in the
looking
back has found target
desperate
acquired. Deadlock
from
finds
LoveMuffin.
Jazz in the other side, but SFG should be able to.
Not really what you want.
Pushing up this point.
Flank
They're in
Harissa.
such good control right now. A lot of
Oh
a lot
my
of the
God,
members
dude.
from, LoveMuffin are
Neither of
missing
you
at
have
this point,
ult
so they-
either, so
they're
it's
able
like,
to
what are you
push this
going to
off
do
easily
to
without
catch
a
them off
contest
guard?
from the side. And EOC, if they walk up, they'll just get burnt down very quickly.
Nothing, just be a pain in the ass, basically.
Pascal is the final blow onto EOC. Deadlock
And one of
is
you
there
does
to
get
keep
ult.
contesting. And actually, oh my goodness, all the picks all of a sudden have
Well,
come
it doesn't
in
really
from
matter,
LoveMuffin.
does it?
I'm not even fully sure how that happened.
The whole hog might have been a bit too bit too aggressive from the side of Deadlock, but it's still a good fight, a
Okay.
good win. But they wasted 2 around. I
LoveMuffin's
believe,
in
3
deep
ultimates
shit
right there.
for this next fight.
Correct me if
Their
I'm
friend has like
mistaken, but now
all
look
of
at
their
the
ults
side
besides
of
Valk.
SFG. They have some crucial ultimates.
They don't have
like
anything
Bob
besides
and
Trance.
Flux ready. So as long as
That's
Lupico
not gonna
stays
save them.
alive, you know, they should be able to win this fight.
Bob has been committed from Jazza, and here comes
Oh
the bomb.
no!
But the
Oh, and they
grab
used the
is
trance
there.
so early.
The pulse bomb only is
Yep.
on to
Flux after the
Lupico's
trance is
trancing.
gone.
But now a great
That's probably first
anti-nade
point.
and lift from
That for maybe a
SFG, and
last second touch if
oh,
one of the tanks went
LoveMuffin
go to
hit the
ball.
dirt.
I don't know if that was a miscommunication or just a misplay
Maybe.
right there.
He's
But
thinking about it.
I don't
Yeah,
know if
he's
you
thinking
see
about
that,
it.
but there were two different resources committed right
He's
there.
gonna get melted though, yeah.
Immortality
Doesn't really
Field
matter, no one
and
else can touch.
Transcendence just to keep Deadlock alive. And you don't really want to do that when you know that your opposing Sigma has not ulted in the last 2 to 3 fights. So that's what really happened right there. Both of the things that, you know, both the resources that could actually prevent a Flux from getting any value, the Immortality Field and a Transcendence, were both used right there before the ultimate even came out. So a bit of...
What was the thought process there of going up against that wall and jumping?
But I think
Like, I was expecting Nova to try and like rock himself over.
Oh my god, look at this anti-nade.
What the hell?
Dazzle is just having so much fun right now on this app. The anti-nade is massive as well from Pascal. It is looking so bad right now if you're a LOVEMUFFIN fan, as SFG just pushes on in. The picks, a couple traded back.
You guys need to get on cart.
Jepic,
What are
the
you
battle
doing?
mercy is
You can win this fight as many times as you want, but it doesn't matter if the card ain't moving.
Traded out, and now we are into the last fight.
Also, I'm pretty sure we had a rule
right here. LOVEMUFFIN have to
where you actually have to
hold this point
make
for 2
progress on
minutes
the
and
point.
40 seconds, or else their League Zero run is over.
I think this might be a close run for LOVEMUFFIN right there. I just don't see any way of them winning at this point.
Okay,
No one has any ults.
a good start.
Ooh, that's a nice pick.
Blue Pickle actually gets a pick off on the Jepic. The Mercy is gone. The Sig9 almost comes through.
Yeah, that's probably it, isn't it?
Better are the 2 picks that come in because
Yep,
of it.
that's
All
it.
the picks have come in
Okay.
from SFG.
Now for the game that I'm honestly really curious about is this one.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and
Geo versus Edinburgh. I was not expecting this to be a 5-map affair. Actually, was it 6? Might have been 6. Might have been 1 tie.
As we bring you an exciting...
So if they can play
Okay.
him and
Let's see.
handle him, they
This I'm
can
going to be really interested with.
meta. It's looking like their meta to win.
Interesting. Valerie's in for Pog.
Things considered with his armor boost.
Valerie must be like some kind of specialist. I see him come in every now and then.
Maybe a slight away from double shield. I've seen some, you know,
Rim is in over Churd.
about whether or not we can
You didn't have Churd or Tilted.
double shield.
Interesting.
Neither of those teams really
Hasty, yeah? Was he a ringer or is he actually on your team? I don't remember.
I sort of expected this comp coming out from Geo. Rimjaz
Main reason it was close?
All one trick. Currently a novice. I mean, he's not
I
that
could
good
see
at
it.
wrecking ball, but I mean, he gets
Even so, I would have expected
the Sig wrecking
you
ball
guys to
a lot, 'cause it's a lot
still
of-
roll over Edinburgh.
It's a lot of displacement, it's a lot of poke, and I feel like it's really good. And if these teams can play it effectively, I feel like SD Austin's Echo is
Get out of third person perspective, god damn it.
strong hero in the far
Echo.
1v1.
very much so. And
He's on your team? Okay, yeah. I remember last season he was like a coach or something. Get out of third person, Abraxas. I'm gonna fucking hurt you.
awesome cross by Merlin.
Okay, well, Merlin just feeds, like usual.
Action as well. Of course, the res will come in right away from Wooly, but Valerie not slowing down. Actually,
Valerie popping.
as well. So an early surge here from the Monarchs.
Valerie actually popping.
Another kill.
Jesus, that was 4 kills from the Zen, and that was about it, wasn't it?
Down their push before it could even really start. Valerie's Zenyatta looked really
Plus, I can put RQT on one of his 2 tricks.
getting the picks he needed to win his team the fight, and it's looking like Flankiata is being almost outclassed in the Zenyatta.
We'll try to go back through again. Early drop there from Merlin.
A little bit of an early engage from Merlin there. Probably should have waited for them to push through the choke instead of them being like at the choke. Other than SDA Rim, who just played super scared.
Who takes down the Echo and continues to pressure here with that Pharah.
Yeah, I can see that. And also Split. I don't think you guys understood what to do with the Pharah. I don't think Pasty quite understood that it was his job to deal with the Pharah, because he's not really doing anything about it. Like, RQT isn't taking any damage whatsoever. He's also trying... He's like trying to do the flank Kree thing, but that doesn't work in like actual organized play. Like, where he was, he wasn't doing anything. And in order to get out of that flank, the team would have needed to invest resources to get him out. The creep pick itself isn't bad. Oh, that was nasty. But he's not utilizing it in the way it should be.
Merlin gets one off as well, trying to block the entrance.
Merlin's hard feeding right now, but it doesn't matter because he's getting pocketed. And Gio just aren't punishing him. Pacey's in like a weird situation where he has to deal with both the Wrecking Ball and the Pharah. Ideally, what Gio would be doing here is taking the coast side and running together as a group. Why was Rim there? I guess maybe try and get the touch. Nice high noon, but it's so last minute, it doesn't matter. I think it's the first time Valerie died, period. Like, it doesn't matter if Gio takes this. Edinburgh can build up their ults and just click Q all at once and take it. Granted, I have no idea if Gio like turned this round around, but this point was just bad play. Cleans up a shit ton. Thank them. Oh, Rim, please. Rim. 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 Oh my god, dude. Oh. Oh. DMs I'll look at later. Not crucially important at the moment. Yeah. There's no reason why Edinburgh should lose this round. Lose this fight even. They should win the fight and just take the round. It's a little bit easier for Empty to deal with things because of how split Gio is. Like realistically, you want Empty to have to worry about, does he have to use his flash on the ball or the tracer? And in this case, he didn't have to worry about that because they were both coming at him at completely separate times when it was off cooldown. Whereas Pasty didn't really have to worry about his flash usage as much as Empty did. But he did have to worry about, like, he should have been worrying about, like, getting the Pharah out of the sky and then making sure he got the ball stunned up. Like, he didn't need to necessarily kill Merlin, but he just, like, didn't provide any value. I'm not sure who he was shooting at, but I'm assuming it was no one useful because nothing happened. Who's the better sim? Both have terrible tracking, I can tell you that much. What is this bit rate? Oh my god. Why'd you put the wall up there? Just wasted that. Not like you're gonna get punished for that cooldown, but like, practice good habits. Or SD, I'd swap off the Sim immediately. You're not gonna find any value, especially against a Mei. Probably, honestly, it'd be better to just go like Pharah, Tracer. Pendy was dying at this. Oh yeah, right. He streamed this, and he had about 1 kilobyte per second or something crazy like that. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. He probably lowered his bitrate to try and save his internet, but it didn't work. I'm shocked that SD is actually getting value out of the Sim, although I think that's just Edinburgh potatoing out, as opposed to Gio necessarily doing what they need to get value out of it. Jesus, yeah, this bitrate's rough. What, did he just like record the rest of it? Basically just off ults or flank killing 3. Nice. Really bad at switching to the right things at the right times. That's honestly just a game sense thing. In a team-based setting like this, that can really make or break DPS. Edinburgh shouldn't have had to use the Flux there. Did they use Shatter as well? No, they used it the previous fight.
On top of all of that,
Yeah, they shouldn't have needed Flux there, because they like fluxed into the Blizzard. Like, that's great that everyone's low, but you could have just gotten the same result with just Blizzard, because everyone was huddling up on the point anyways. The only way they would have gotten out would have been
Pretty much a mop for Edinburgh. And Vespa King
if SD had like a
opened that up.
PP
I mean, that drops them
away
instantly
from point.
half health, and then the rest of the team just rushed it. And that's pretty good.
I would have Ajax there, but I got ping diffed.
He was doing, but it really wasn't the best thing he could have done, especially after he just got the shatter off. And then
That
he just
Maywall
went off.
comes again. Oh, it's a good Maywall, but they will get the immortality field in. Awesome's able to turn that into a kill on Valerie. Rim is frozen there in the front
The
line.
fuck?
Will just push forward through that symmetric
That
shield.
is
The South
not even remotely an area code I know.
the other side won't get anything.
You China.
But now the counter barrier coming out again. The Maywall comes up. But
Getting
it's
beat
not as
by
bright
Ben
as
and
we
Aspect
thought.
TPS 2.
Off there. Jazzberry with 3. Pasty with the key support there on the Reaper.
SD Awesome just throwing down that wall, and Rim just using
SDA got inspirational.
It almost looked like Monarchs were sort of confused. I mean, Rim just literally pressed W key. He just Chad Rhined them.
Well, the tricky thing here for SDA is once you lose points, his sim is at an inherent disadvantage in an equal fight because Empty builds up a lot more charge on the Orisa than SD theoretically should on
Charging in
a Sig and a Rhine.
Use that Blizzard to initiate. It's a great shatter actually from Jazzberry, but it might not be enough.
Yeah, see, like, they basically won that fight with just Blizzard. They didn't... Why would you do that?
Who's flush with shields right now as he
There's no fucking way.
his team for it, but Vespa King not able to protect the rest of them. Like Yada and Rim, Jazzberry again.
My faith in humanity, dude. How does Gio win that? How... Who?
Very questionable flux from Vespa King. I know he wanted to save the game, but
What the fuck did I just watch?
waiting for his team to get back.
Why would you not kill the supports first? In the Blizzard, everyone was caught in it.
The pressure does start to come in just a little bit, but really
Is that having 2 diamonds helps you win? That wasn't even rank, that was just being Pepega and having 0 ults. Or not, like 0
two bodies on point to 6.
target focus. Or idea of who you should be focusing.
Jazzberry in the midst of everything as well.
Like, Edinburgh should have
Really just a melee on the
probably killed the BAP first.
looking particularly good for the Monarchs.
Because they should have known that Dragon didn't have beat.
Showed up on point, and Monarchs really just couldn't move him. He was just getting
That should have been Edinburgh's map. Wholesale.
crazy good, and Rim
Like, full stop, that should have been Edinburgh's map right there.
he just
They just hard through that. They won that fight with Blizzard,
planted on point. That was it.
and then threw it away.
That moment there, where he just kind of stood in one of the doorways and just swung the hammer and just didn't die. It's kind of scary. It's actually kind of scary. I mean, it's good if you're a Ride player, I guess. For the rest of us mortals, though.
Empty coming out on the Torb again. Empty loves the Torb.
He'll probably win this 3-2. I don't know, I haven't seen the rest of the series yet.
I mean, that was against the Seattle Battle Cattle. No knock to them, obviously, but you know, it may be a little bit.
I think this, so far, has been a really good example as to how much Churd enables you guys. Because right now you're effectively playing with 2 main tanks.
Monarchs are wanting to play extremely like together.
Because Rim certainly isn't playing the role of the protector.
It can help.
Oh my god, I say as he like just flat out feeds 600 health worth of ult percentage. Prince is just bad mechanically. You don't really need your main tank to be mechanically gifted though. You know, that can come later. As long as he has an idea of what he needs to do. Usually he does, but he's playing more Sigma right now.
Unfortunately, I think that Sigma, does have to play a little off on this comp, Abraxas. It makes it a little bit harder for the Sigma player. Jazzberry rolled in there, got a goodly amount of damage on the backside of that, but not enough to really put anyone into the grave. Wow!
Rim.
Trades his life for big kills there, though. A noble sacrifice, and you see him type in the chat worth. That's quite good.
Rim Jazzberry more like Rim Chadberry. He sacrificed his life for the point. He's like
He did. Because it's the minute, the minute he did that, Abraxas is over, right? It's just cleanup phase at that point in time. He kind of broke the back of all of
Well, especially like since he got two people, but it also cost his life. It almost kind of evens out in a sense, or it gives Geo a player advantage. But now, since that opened the point,
Would you use postpone there?
Geo are just gonna sit here, and Geo really can just play
Interesting minds, but actually it did work out because it split the team.
because
But no one is there to
Monarchs
help.
have to sort of force their way.
Literally no one is there to capitalize.
They really win.
Chalky minefield.
I don't even want to blame Rim on that one. I think that was just the rest of Geo kind of being potatoes. Because like, you gotta know that your ball's getting ready to do something. Mine's usage itself wasn't bad. There was zero follow-up. It split the team perfectly. If the rest of the team were in the doorways poking, like at least 2 people out of those 3 that were separated would have died.
From Dragon trying to keep the team alive. Dragon, I think, actually whipped out the blaster there for a half second. Not really enough.
You would have gotten a shit ton of
Back in the fight here, but they are being held at the door. That Gravitic Flux coming out as well. It's a good Flux.
cooldowns out of them at the very least. So even if they tried to re-engage, they would have had a significant disadvantage.
Destroyed, and they will hold these doors.
Not where they were placed. Well, yeah, I could see what Rim was going for. he probably working his grappling mechanics, but at the very least, like, it accomplished what he wanted it to. It's just there was zero follow-up, so you might as well not have mind and used it a different time. What was that rock? Did he build up another mines? Damn, actually kind of impressive. Shouldn't ever be engaging there. Not with the composition that you have, no. It's easier with a brawl.
And I think that should signal an end to this match. Definitely does when RQT just gets wasted on the way in.
Okay.
That was sloppy. From like both teams.
First round, he was looking not
Oh, he actually used it. That's funny.
as Merlin. He was looking
Is this one,
behind. But that last round was just all rim. That was just the rim show. He was just having fun.
yeah, this must be when he switched over to just recording.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Jesus, look at how clear that is.
The player coming forward into this double shield metric on the high ground.
Okay, what do we got?
Shots coming in from Awesome on that Honda.
I don't hate this composition from Geo.
Might have actually been entirely destroyed.
Stereotypical brawl from Edinburgh. It's fine. It can work. They just gotta play it right. I don't know if they know how to play it right.
There is the charge. Merlin's charge.
Okay, they probably don't know how to play this right.
They make the jump there. Now they're just going to continue to try and divest them. Nope, never mind.
Stream was fixed at this point. I don't think the match was streamed for very long. I'm pretty sure Pendy said like he was gonna just record it or something.
And they drop down to the point again.
Like twice in a row in different ways.
Underneath here. Maybe try and take off some of the pressure coming from the top rim. Jazzberry actually just going to drop straight down, literally on top of it.
Where was Empty? Oh, he was just on point. It was Rim that was in the middle of fucking nowhere. Oh my god, Rim's playing Orisa like ball. Honestly, if he was in a decent position to start that fight, or I guess to end it,
They just noticed that. They were like, okay, there's these two guys.
they might have actually been able to recontest, but because the Orisa was like in the middle of the fucking enemy team, he just fed. And there goes first point with 5 minutes to go for streets. Congratulations, you just played yourself.
Rush down kind of composition that we're looking at right there. Flankiata, playing a bit fast and loose right there. Does manage to get to cover. Now they're just trying to rotate this double shield up to another high ground position. Still playing very split though.
Actually, I'm kind of interested to see how Geo use their ults, because there's not very much they can use the combo.
Happy to continue to push the car best.
Like, the most I see is like
There, a little bit of a speed boost comes in.
Lux Dragons, but they didn't even do that. They just kind of used Dragons.
Oh, they're making some basic.
Wasted it.
Zoo would tell you not to do this like error.
And in the meantime, Edinburgh just used Coalescence.
Geo want to
Full
run
Dragon?
double shield.
Ah, yeah.
But Rim is always off doing something that isn't what he should be doing. Like when you're playing a comp like this, you guys have to stay grouped up. You have to stay together. Because RQT's Maywall literally just zones one of you off, gets the pick, and then the Rhine comp can just run through. So this is where you see
Lux Noon is easy to get out of, though.
It comes down to Geo are just not playing this double shield properly. They're playing
No.
split. They need to play
Really one of my more favorite
an army.
old combinations. Like, the higher level teams can just
On the fact they're not doing that.
get out of it really easily.
Flux comes out here, a blizzard in as well.
Oh, pasty.
That should give them enough room to charge for it. Merlin actually surges in.
Oh, that was painful.
Shatter on the
That was the single worst high noon I think I've ever seen.
right there, but it awesome
Hmm.
well, I guess where they belong.
Jesus, yeah, Edinburgh.
Merlin just had no fear. I mean, he charged the high nooning McCree and
Just
then
messaged you, didn't realize you were streaming.
like he put the chat and
Am I available now? No.
A true hero, true
I am not available now.
Maybe a little misguided, a little bit young
In the
Ryan
stream.
action right there.
Grand final over.
Well, I think
About ready.
so much damage
Probably be like another
does come in.
hour and a half. Probably.
They try and do so, but the immortality
No, probably more than that.
any kills they really could have got. Still a bit of a mess there.
It'll be a couple hours. I'll let you know.
And they shut down.
Because I'm doing one more VOD after this.
Some picks in return though, and it does look like the defense will hold there.
Did the update help your plan for finals? Update?
Okay with that at all.
What update?
yeah, Geo the bongo just halted everything.
Some specs.
That's what it's
The
like.
update is for replays. Oh yeah. That's live now? Cool.
Just absolute power of double shield. This unmovable comp. It's just
I'll make some coffee.
they have this shattered and they have this coalescence to help them engage a little bit. They need to be punishing SD Awesome too. He's just
Edinburgh's taking
how did Reinhardt get up there?
a shit ton of damage for no good reason. Nice boop. I don't know if they can push in on this though. Diva's dead. Yeah, I kind of hope that doesn't fuck over the finals. Like, I hope that gets fixed before finals. I hate to see a team that wanted to use Diva not be able to. This is the most novice play I've ever seen. Yeah, I know. Went through the hole.
Get in there, do some damage, and lose empty almost immediately.
Whenever I coach like a novice level Reinhardt, I basically tell him like, look, you should not be charging more than like 2 hammer swings away. Like, do not charge into Narnia. Why would you high noon there? You're already winning the fight. Like, he got a kill, but he could have saved it. Granted, they're not really at a lack of ultimates right now, so. But they're also not at a drastic advantage
I mean, for sure,
over Edinburgh anyways.
not getting as much value as they would like from it, and I mean they're really just banking on an ult chain to like really win. And I mean they're coming up on one. They're gonna have grab and okay, well just say that.
Good window.
Geo.
Good wall.
Actually, a really good wall placed just in
RQT should have been looking for a blizzard.
damage. Now, Awesome is down early. That's actually a big pick from
And now they can't.
He does trade that out, but still,
Don't push in, back up.
about that
You lost your Reaper, that's 90% of your damage.
they need to get the immortality.
Why would you use Blizzard into that?
Look at the smash come through.
They won the fight, but they're not gonna do much.
The charge, but the rest of the team does the cleanup.
Like, they're not gonna full cap. If they still had empty, they possibly could have.
And just threw his blizzard, and that was the end.
Don't tell me he loses this fucking 1v1. Okay. He just gets away.
Didn't, and so I was like, oh no.
Here comes a Gravityx. It only gets
What are you
worse.
doing?
Now that's a bit of a problem because there's a great grab in there as well. Immortality field out quick like, but it's not enough to really help them. Awesome drops
He just gives up on flicking to the Baptiste. He's like, nope.
well. That might be enough for him to try and turn this fight around and
Oh shit, I didn't realize Empty tried to use his Death Blossom. That's tragic. Now I cost him this full cap.
by the skin of their teeth.
The reload saves Dragon. That's priceless.
His death blossom sort of carried that.
That's just an unlucky moment.
We're just gonna roll through and get.
Yeah, Edinburgh have
They had picks in their face.
like one good fight and then a quick fight
And SD Awesome just was like, I'll press Q.
and nothing to work with. They might have Blizzard soonish.
I mean, his Reaper. I mean,
That's about it.
player.
I think they tried to do that little Merlin lift again. It didn't quite
Not at the rate that RQT's building it.
wall here as well. Merlin actually just gonna push straight forward.
Be cool if TP reloaded for you. Yeah.
Push in the window. They have
Although I feel like,
to buy it.
oh, that was net.
Pasty
Yeah, there's no way Edinburgh finished this.
point blank high noon
RQT couldn't even build up his Blizzard in that time.
goes down.
They do have one quick recontest.
Back in an ignoble retreat to their spawn.
And neither of these teams have been quick about what they've been doing, so,
Pasty.
you know,
Deadeye. I mean, his shield had like 200 health. He could have gone for the charge and done what he did last time, but it wouldn't have mattered much. And now Vespa King swapping over to the Diva a little bit later than he probably would have liked to.
that was the most telegraphed Blizzard I have ever seen.
Target's trap back here. They need to try and get the Brigida out of it. They will manage
There's no way.
and change. Pog doing great job with the
Oh, he doesn't. That's tragic. He was so close to getting Pog.
It will not work. No redemption there. No saving. from SD Awesome, and they'll finally push this.
No way they cap.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Edinburgh barely got it at that. I mean, how long?
Main tank on Sig.
5.5 minutes.
Oh no, that wasn't a
Yeah, fine.
knock on Prince. I don't even think he was even up in the front line at that point.
Geo needs to be feeling proud of themselves for getting
That was just
And the fact that
an awkward blizzard from our QT.
I was almost positive they weren't going to get it in OT because it was like 0.2, but I would use one
There we
ult.
go.
The best Zaryas. So they probably sort of expect that a Zarya won't be run, and I feel like Diva's decent, but she's not as good as she was. So I feel like Vespa King's either gonna get melted here.
No, he should have read that. I mean, yes, he should have, but I'm not expecting much out of him because he doesn't play Sig.
Well, Merlin and company were
2 seconds running at you. Yep. Ooh, that was really good aggression from Edinburgh. That literally just came out of nowhere. I don't understand where this came from, but it was good.
Merlin takes his opposite number out too, and now it's a brutal alleyway brawl here on Hangzhou. All fisticuffs except for, one rocket powered hammer. And they're just cleaning them out. Somebody's trying to make a cheeky cap on the point. It will indeed be Zexu there on the Sigma, but it's not enough. What a strange series of events, I must admit.
You know what, buddy?
I don't know what the hell got into Edinburgh, but like, they just dialed it up to 11 really quickly. Like, that's the kind of aggression you need. Just do that every time. Wait for them to get through the choke first, but do that every time. Where's our QT over there? Where's the wall? Oh no. He ice blocked before the wall. That's tragic. Woolly. Why would you flex? Why would you flex that? I guess it might pay off. Why would you beat that? Oh my god. Okay, it's no longer paying off. This is back to Edinburgh being in power here.
Merlin was already dead, and see, it just the over aggression costs Hog to get picked, and Merlin's gonna be back, and Vespa King lose mech. So
Flank Yada is down as well. Now they're just gonna chuck the Blizzard on point, but Awesome had the
Good Blizzard.
push forward into it. Now the High Noon comes out from the opposite direction of Empty.
Okay, High Noon.
Joy on that, a great flashbang.
Fight was lost. I wanted to read it.
Out of it. And what remains there, the Edinburgh Monarchs were clean up, but these have been some scrappy fights in a world of scrappy fights.
Honestly, the way they've been playing this, Edinburgh should just first hold. I don't know if they do. But if they keep playing like they've been playing on this defense, they should just first hold. Why? That's such a risky position for the McCree to stand in. He has nothing to do if Rim just decided to charge him.
The shatter was good, but a bit of a slow response. Sound barrier coming in there. Grab a second while. Pasty from nowhere with
Oh my god.
fire to blow the point wide open, quite literally.
Yeah, once they get shattered, that's basically the point. Although they should get a really nice contest onto the streets phase. Yeah, nice early contest. I like this aggression. I don't know where this came from. Why can't novice teams that do this? Like Seattle, for example. They would just do this randomly. It's like, why can't you play with this kind of energy all the time? Like, what's stopping you? Sure pressed Q, huh? Yep. Literally still going on. You're still pressing Q. Oh my god. Why would you use Death Blossom there? Bruh. I can feel Aqua face palming through his skull.
I was pretty skeptical of the
Oh my god.
notoriously a main tank player.
What was this?
I mean, he's showing up. He's definitely outclassed.
The reason Rim plays main tank instead of Prince is because he knows a lot. He goes a lot more aggro.
He's definitely showing up on the SIG.
I mean, I'm more commenting on Edinburgh's aggression here because they're the ones who are getting more value out of it.
Upper hand on him.
I just felt like alt F4ing. Oh, dude, I know the pain. I've been a coach and seen players do shit like that. Like, it worked, didn't it? It's like, that's not the point.
I mean, it's a valiant effort by Pasty to try and hold on, gets that one pick in on RQT. You see Awesome flying in there.
What was that?
Will
Oh my god.
fight is over.
I think SD was just inting to reset, I'm assuming.
RQT's
No one else was around.
always seems to shatter, and he always instantly goes for the Reinhardt because he has that shatter, and he knows if
What is
he
Edinburgh
gets
doing?
out of the way,
Like,
that
take a more advantageous positioning, or just wait for them to come back, I guess.
and he wins the fight.
Oh,
Oh, it's a bit of a rough window there, but a good wall and a good charge actually by Merlin.
I like this position from
Trying to
Pasty,
reset the deck.
but I'd almost like it if he flanked around to the left more.
Spectacular play
Well, now
by
it's too late. They've already won the fight.
but it won't be enough. The wall coming up allows them
Don't you fucking dare.
to secure some space. Pasty in the back though does manage to get empty.
I thought he was going to go behind him and rip tire.
What a great bit of play by
See, now he's just staggering himself because there's very little chance he gets out alive.
Merlin is looking
Or
amazing. on
there's
the
all the
field.
chance in the world.
I was sort
And
of skeptical about it, but he's really outclassing Rim in almost every category. Just Edinburgh's
that's on Edinburgh for not chasing him in all honesty.
so good because
Pasty should not have gotten out alive.
really good clean team fight.
Where'd he go anyways? Is he still up top? Or did he drop down?
Shift key, and
Can't
there
see.
goes the Blizzard.
The bit rate's too low.
again. Merlin's gonna push forward into that. Rim's in deep trouble here. Pasty.
Oh my god. Merlin tried.
Another massive tire.
Well, okay, whatever. He was going to die anyways.
Will escort his team
Not going to ask what that charge was.
And they better bump
Been
up
really
salary.
dicey for Geo though.
I don't know what they're
Like, they've been taking these points off of like select
Junkrat as he needs
ultimates that I would dare to call lucky in certain cases.
good tire and opens the point up. That's a true Junkrat.
This is novice, so he got out easy.
the ladder rat right
I've seen some novice teams cough wisdom, do good in staggering. Oh, that was a little bit reckless.
aggression pushing forward. They use Dragon's immortality field is turned and burned quite quickly.
Merlin needs to get out.
Himself falls on
Nice shield from Vespi King.
just to try and slow things down. Works a
Not the worst High Noon.
not enough because Merlin
He didn't High Noon into a blizzard.
on that front
But-
line pressure. Now that Rim goes down though, might actually slow the roll a little bit. Zetsu taken out, and that's
Gonna slowly favor the
right there.
defenders.
No more.
They have such an ult economy. As long as they don't blow it all at once, they should be able to keep up with the ults coming online for Geo. Like all they need is a good window, and that wears off. A good blizzard. They've beat for Flux. They have to know that's coming up.
Which is good. Don't get me wrong, but it almost
Good thing is we scrim with our DPS and Rim this week. A triple boop there.
Jazzberry dying.
I've cheered. Honestly, I think that seems to be one of the defining factors. Like Tilted is nuts at times. Pog. Oh my god. But like Churd enables Geo to feed a lot harder than I think you guys realize.
Martyrdom.
Yeah, martyrdom right there at the very end. But man, Jazzberry losing with the shatter, that hurts.
I think. Oh, I can't even get analysis. Team fight already breaking up.
Good beat, good flux, good blizzard. They have to know the tire is coming now though, so Empty has to be on his guard. Or they could just kill him right out. You know, that works too. Tilted's last day of finals, nice. There's no reason as to why Geo should cap this. Don't fucking tell me they cap this. Empty needs to stay alive in particular. He's a huge source of damage. Yeah, right as I say that.
Vespa King has this.
I knew that was coming too. It's like there's no way. He's the one person who needs to stay alive right now.
Really playing for their ultimate.
And Pasty still has his tire, that's massive. Vespi King needs to use his flex right now, yep.
In the fight.
If not Sig 9 them, then at least get a lot of damage. Can't let this happen. Nice boop. That was beautiful. Like Pog.
The sound barrier does come out here from Wooly, just allowing them to extend this fight. That's a counter there from Rim. And they're gonna prep
Not sure how they allowed Rim to do that, but okay.
ditch effort there by Dragon. Won't be enough.
He just walks to the left
Also an over.
and shatters. You have to stop predicting things. I just know how things play out.
Like they always cycle them. They never overcommit to a fight. Like they'll use an ant matrix, get a
Plus, I'm not saying this is going to happen, I'm saying this should happen.
sort of like Geo, who like
As in, like, if I were on the team, this is what I'd be looking to do, or this is what I'd be looking
Mario really
for whatever to happen.
they use an alter or they're putting these guys food for this one game. It's like, but
Interesting Echo pick. A little bit risky,
this teamwork
because
now is crazy.
previously they were playing the Kree,
They might be
and Empty's probably one of the few Krees
Geo,
in Novice that could actually hit those shots.
That's not expected to win. It's just tradition.
Those
But at the same time, it ends up working out because only Dragon can really deal with SD at the moment. Did Rim drop, or did he just get poked out?
Those GMOs these days, all sorts of stuff. They're actually going to shove straight onto the.
He dropped. Oh, sure. Have the Orisa drop. Empty? Oh my god. Rim just called, I'm dropping, and jumped. Geronimo.
Rim sort of soft through that by jumping down.
I mean, ideally,
Walled off in one angle, he could
you would have SD drop,
and
because he can get back up.
or not RQT.
And you can just have Flank
One of their DPS.
drop the lamp to keep him up for a little bit longer, you know?
But he dropped
But I don't think they got that far. Rim kind of interrupted that train of thought.
over him. And gold can only do so much. You know, it only reduces 50% of damage. That's still 50%.
Also, when SD did drop, he kind of floated
And I feel like he
in a straight line directly into empty, so didn't quite work out.
He felt every one of that 50%.
Nice save by Prince. Should be Rim.
Every one of those bullets that just took him out of the fight.
SDA just dies if he drops. Not necessarily, but he can only drop for so long.
Go an extra inch. They'll take Yana's immortality field out almost immediately. That's not a bad window, but they will be able.
Like realistically, I would have even had SD drop first, and then
From the equation, that
Rim with the rest of the team drops, not not just Rim, because he's gonna survive for all of 0.2 seconds.
almost immediately. RQT has done a spectacular job of shutting those windows down all night long, but they're continuing to push forward here. Wooly way out of position, has to be very careful. Will lose the Brigitte early on.
Rim presses shift.
Oh, that's a good Gravitic coming in there to try and slow this down.
That's a tragic flux from
Kicks out of that, though.
Zexu.
And I said it was good, but I'm changing my mind. I think you might want that back for Axis.
Zexu is definitely going for
If he hadn't used that, they might have been able to hold on this second.
OT has gone so long, he knew that it would probably almost instantly tick down before they dropped. But I mean, that's a sort of a wasted ult. They should have just backed up, and I get what he was doing was noble, but you know,
I'm assuming Edinburgh takes this map because this is just
one fight.
beyond good for Edinburgh in terms of an overtime push. Like, this is monstrous. This is one of those things where you have to worry if the other team is getting too demoralized in the series, because this is just like the most catastrophic thing that could happen on a King's Row overtime push. Getting through Streets phase, like that's nasty.
That they're looking really good. I mean, they don't. I mean, compared to Geo, they have way more.
SD needs to build up to his Death Blossom, and while he's doing that, Pasty needs to use his High Noon simultaneously. Nice Shatter. Death Blossom, High Noon, beautiful. Get anything? Yep. Almost like I know what I'm talking about. Because in this scenario, every fight is last fight. Just press Q and end it.
This man Pasty loves
Because there's very little in the game that can sustain through
round, and then Pasty gets
a Death Blossom and then a High Noon. Like,
fight. I mean, it's
maybe if they had a Transcendence, because like Beat would get eaten away.
he did it like
Actually probably kill through
round on Chunk.
just from the Death Blossom, let alone the High Noon.
In the fight. At the same time, Merlin is. I'm surprised he's not being punished more because he just loves the shift key. Like as soon as the cooldown is off, he's pressing it. I feel like if Geo can.
Okay, let's see. Skip ahead. Geo either has to play out of their goddamn minds,
Like,
or they just lose this map, which I'm assuming they just lose this map, because I do know it goes to map 5.
Exchange of love taps there between Reinhardt's and a May of their own. That wall does come in, but they will not be able to capitalize on it. Merlin still trading blows with Rim, forces the immortality field out quite early. The rest of the Monarchs, though,
Merlin wants Shatter so bad right now.
it's a good wall in, walls on both sides, much better.
Yeah, I'm guessing you guys don't even cap first.
Capitalize on it.
Don't use Shatter.
Blossom and Jazz
Don't use Shatter right now. Use Shatter with like 10 seconds left.
that'll send it back to Spawn.
Just don't use it right now.
you see it again. Merlin just walks into Geo, and they just don't punch.
Yeah, I could tell the moment Merlin was like, oh hey, I'm close to Shatter, and just swings 3 times and gets it.
I forgot who the third person was, and they didn't even make a conscious effort to stop it.
Telegraphed.
Comes in, Shatter
Doesn't matter. Rim's dead, Pasty's dead, that's it.
before it can even get any legs. Awesome does manage to pick Pog out of the
Wooly looking for anything.
enough. Flank Yada throws the
Can't find it.
He's got a Merlin behind him.
Exu gone.
Pushes him down, and you barely
Empty dead is a good start, but that's gonna end it, yep.
attack are smashed into the
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna fill up my water bottle. Okay, back. Next two maps, Rim cannot speak. Like literally, or you mean he just played so bad that he's not allowed to talk?
You think that they boom mental, and
Okay.
I think geometric probably reels a little bit, right? Like, well, I'm not gonna discount that. That's my thing.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, both teams are running out with a nearly mirror matchup.
Interesting that Valerie's in again.
Mercy, but that's pretty easy to say because they have the echo.
The support line feels more flexible in a way. Like Valerie's good, but the support line for Edinburgh feels more
We saw some great stuff earlier, but of course we saw great stuff from Rim as well. And speaking of
flexible.
looking up on the high ground,
Oh, that was nasty.
what?
That was nasty. Who the hell did he stick, anyways?
Again, on this ball, we saw some
Val had a good Zen, I'm not surprised. Yeah, but it feels like it limits them to Zen, if you know what I mean. I think he actually stuck Dragon of all things. That's interesting.
Dragon and Valerie must have stand
Used the beam a little bit.
together there.
A little bit early there. Although, to be honest, it looked like he was about half health, so fair.
Managed to take Flag Yacht out of the equation, but it feels like far too little
Had to be muted. Oh, that's tragic.
was about as close to
Although I guess if you were going to play
what could possibly have happened.
any tank and have to be muted, Ball is probably the best option.
With this team, I getting those 2 picks.
You can just kind of do your own thing and create openings and let
Valerie, you guys
Zexu be the one to call.
clumped, but not that clumped, you know? Like, it was over for them. But they're getting a recontest, so it's looking good for them.
Awesome gets another strong pick, gets the clone off almost immediately. That will be a Sigma clone right there.
Nice flank.
Dragon goes in,
Nice.
the clone flux in, and
Nice.
L3 with
That
the
was just
clone.
gnarly.
Oh, awesome.
Sig is probably the best.
Shattering any semblance of a defense.
MT has to calm a ton,
Yeah, right now.
especially in Ball Tracer.
I mean,
Not necessarily.
why, I mean, his echoes
Like I know what you're saying, and yes,
now, and I mean,
there does need to be a lot of coordination, but that coordination can also come from another source within the team. As long as Rim can hear, he can just follow orders.
keep up this level of play.
It's better if he's the one making the game plan, but
Sort of struggling. Even
you can survive without it.
Gash is punished.
He's not getting beat, he's getting mad. He's up there again, playing the high ground position. Merlin valiantly just trying to stall this card out with
Where'd the mines go? Oh, there's the mine. I was like, where? That was a nice sticky.
Woo! 2 with the pulse bomb there.
EPS could call dives if needed. Yeah, in all honesty.
Slow this press just a little bit here.
RQT is just doing what SD Awesome did to his team. He's just
Particularly in this case, SD, just because he's going to be in the best position to actually capitalize on a dive.
slow. RQT, okay, SD Awesome was one.
This is getting scrappy, yeah. Geo should have backed out a while ago.
Taken out, the Transcendence then has to come out from
Instead, they invested Trans.
escort them through this.
Might actually, yeah, they
Bob stops in the
start moving off of it, but it's
Awesome did get 2 on the backside.
too scattered.
Still there, yeah.
They start losing people. Like, losing both your supports like that, you're just lost that fight.
Tear does unfortunately
Even if you keep moving the cart, like, you're not going to get much further.
still pretty good.
Flankower got the trans push or forced out, and it was looking like they could have done.
Main thing was that
They did a little bit.
a lot of times pile drive wasn't comboed with, so we missed out on a lot of kills.
Being forced, even if
Yeah.
your trans is being forced, you still want to get some.
At a certain point,
Whether it's
the rest of the team does have to pick up on
I feel like
when he's doing it, though, or even call, like, pile drive now, you know, and then
I mean they need
they're obviously going to be looking for it.
best gets the flex off.
Oh, Zexu gets
Not sure about that duplicate from downtown. Like, usually you want to get a little bit closer before you dupe.
trying to get a pick does actually take empty out of the
Look how slow he built up Flux compared to last time.
Best picking the sole target. It will not go
Oh, even got it canceled. That's tragic. He took too much poke damage before he actually got it off.
Valerie goes down 2 and the pressure on here.
RQT is actually doing pretty good on the Tracer. I know I said that as he was dying, but like, holistically speaking, this map he's been doing actually pretty decent on the Tracer. I didn't think he had it in him.
Popped that.
Decent mines.
Lost my train of thought. Best King popped that early.
Cleared, cleared a little bit too many.
Him gets destroyed by minefield.
But the thought was there.
Transcendence now coming out on the other side from Valerie.
Zexu should
Trying to keep his team in.
Flux now they're already in the back foot.
Win.
That was one of the few times where I actually think Geo could have just stood and fight.
Valerie actually
He was dying about 50-50.
coming in big.
Dying versus killing the Zen.
Securing nearly another one there if RQT hadn't jumped in with a little bit of a punch.
Not the best record, yeah.
Yeah, Valerie just cleaned up. That's really what you expect to see. I mean, Flankiata is the season 3 MVP for novice, but Valerie's looking looking clean on the Zen, and he's got an
He's not doing terrible, but I could definitely see what you're talking about with the
sort of what you like to see. He looked really
very obvious lack of coordination. With the oh, that was nasty.
okay. Well, MT's just not
I
going
didn't even see where SD is, but I saw where MT was.
This game is just non-stop action. Like
They are not letting up. I tell you, they are relentless.
Honestly, in this situation,
Roll there, actually,
it might even be worth swapping Wooly off to Mercy. Or maybe even swapping Flank onto a Mercy.
on the back of it at all. It's a decent Gravitic, got two. Zexu slams him down. Valerie
Just to give SD that little bit of extra oomph.
Zexu, of course,
And if SD dies,
his life as
then Pasty can do something.
empties bomb on the backside.
And the Mercy Pocket can work for either DPS. The res is invaluable in this situation.
Flank Yada remove Merlin from the brawl, and they'll get a lot of
Because you see how sticky Edinburgh feels, especially on this point where they have spawn advantage. Like the res is really good here. Granted, you're doing decent without it.
touching rim play wrecking ball. It's for every good thing he does. He
Versus the Tracer, both are fine. Yeah.
gets like a 2 or 3K.
Oh yeah, definitely. The Brig isn't the worst pick.
Destroyed his next engage.
I'm just thinking if you wanted to hit that little bit of extra damage that you're lacking from coordination,
He pops off and then he
the Mercy might have been worthwhile.
actually I think that's just
But it looks like you guys are doing decent with the Brig.
I was just gonna say, it's just another day of the wrecking ball.
Not an apparent weakness. That's always a good thing with the support. That's basically the
That's just the way.
first milestone you gotta hit.
Speaking of ball, that's actually gonna get
That is a good place to stop the cart though for Edinburgh.
slow the roll of the attack, and we're kind of back to a bit of a dead area here, just forcing this regroup out at these doors.
another really good
Brig lets your Zen be a lot more aggro, yeah.
Merlin just
Although in this situation,
plays
aside from
clean up, pasty, or excuse me,
RQT, a lot of it's just burst damage.
I like the Ash swap.
So
I feel like Ash is really
it's gonna be a little bit trickier for
say that.
Flank to get more aggro in the first place. You know, he's gonna have to be playing basically the same regardless of whether the Brig or the Mercy's there.
Good moments, right? He knocked them all off the high.
Because it's mostly the pile drive damage from Merlin that you're worried about.
Awesome there, just cleans up.
And then poke damage from MT. RQT hasn't really been successfully harassing the backline aside from that one pulse bomb. But for the most part, he's been focusing down the tanks more from what I've seen at least. Seems to be sticking to the frontline Tracer.
Oh, that'll force his transcendence out.
For a second, I thought that was a Pharah. I was like, who the fuck swaps to Pharah on third Dorado? But no, okay.
It's really awesome and Pasty who are doing the
A little bit of a risky
at the moment, getting
flux.
big kills. Merlin
I can't blame him for trying it though, because that was last fight.
no success. That causes his transcendence out of
Dupes and immediately loses all targets.
transcendence. I guess that's just desperation kicking in right there. There was an attempt to, I think,
He's not even gonna get pulse, is he?
out the front door that was met with nothing.
That's kind of funny.
Flank Yada now getting in on the action. Flank Yada getting 4 from the Zen Yada.
If Edinburgh can stall this to overtime, then they've won. Morally speaking. Not literally.
Valerie trying to hold on as the Lucio.
Unfortunate.
But a great little bit of
Decent stall.
by Flank Yada at the end of that stage.
They've got Yada in their name. They can't be bad at him.
It's an imperative. You can't.
Second point definitely fucked over Geo's time bank. First point was like a beautiful take.
Flank Yada, cleaned up that fight there at the end. Valerie's desperate.
Like with the 5k on the back. Yeah. That's the power of
Didn't really do much.
giving your Zen just free reign and a long sight line. Like, okay, well, no one can go touch him.
Chance to recontest.
And then he just reigns in death from like 50 meters back.
Rim did 2 good things there.
Interested to see what Edinburgh plays on offense here.
My theory. Maybe we test it a little bit more, but Rim looked really good there. Ground is mine.
To be a matter of moments, it could be a matter of an entire push, but it'll come back. We know.
Interesting to see potential free instead of an Ash. Although I can't blame him because the first point's
Let's
relatively claustrophobic for the offense. So, free soldier is going to get more value than Ash would, or at least feel less cluttered. That was actually sadistic as fuck, and I love it from RQT. Oh, Jesus, Rim.
Once more, has to pop the shield to get out of there with his life, and they'll continue to push this card up the street. So nobody really gone down yet. There comes Rim one more time, one more.
Yeah, I would not have advised that second slam there. He did not have enough health for that.
Starts to kick into effect because they're gonna
And all their cooldowns were basically ready.
slow down here, but their health.
And they were staring straight at him the entire time. So, it's kind of telegraphed a little bit.
Everybody's hot back up. They will not save empty.
Hmm.
Awesome comes in, starts to sweep it up.
They're bleeding players, but Geo's staggering in.
But it won't make too much of a difference.
But it looks like Edinburgh just kind of backed out. Maybe? I don't know. Going back and forth.
RQT now, RQT. It's valiant.
I mean, Rim is.
Why is Rim just sitting there? He should be setting up the next thing. What is he going to accomplish from this position? What are you doing? Why would you mines there? No one's there. They all left like a minute ago. They're just sitting like way behind your mines, staring at them. And we're staring at you when you were deploying them. Like, let them push in. Hell, if I were Rim, I would have put it closer to the choke point, wait for them to like, roll around from the high ground, put it behind them, and have the rest of Geo surge forward, meaning that Edinburgh either has to push forward into the people who are trying to kill them, or run back into the mines. Force 3 into the little room. I don't think anyone really got killed there, though. At least not for a while. I think it was a good 5-ish seconds afterwards that anyone died. Feels like Edinburgh are joking this out a little bit. Def got killed there.
I'm not a fan of RQT swap over to Farah right here. Farah is definitely his better pick, but just looking at it, I mean, he's running against an Echo and an Ashe. But I mean, Geo literally has no ults other than Woolie's. I keep losing my train of thought. Other than Woolie's rally.
Farah was a really bad switch. Yeah, especially against an Ashe like Pasty. Like the fact that he kills Pasty there is okay. It's fine and all, but like. He's not really getting too much value outside of it. Point in case SD gets 3. When, like, ideally, Farah would be keeping up with the Echo in terms of kills. And even with a Mercy Pocket, he was losing the 1v1. So, like, you lost a 2v1. You split. Yeah, depends on the supports. In this situation, I think it's good to take out the backline, but, like, Edinburgh's front line needs to be able to dish out damage to the rest of the team, and they weren't really doing that. Like, I see that it's a comfort pick and everything, but it just wasn't getting the value they needed. Especially because Empties doesn't look entirely comfortable on the Tracer. Not the best barrage. Kind of wasted. If he was like 5 feet forward, could have gotten the brig. Instead, Wooly just got like free environmental shielding. That was just Edinburgh not really knowing how to push that point, which is weird. They did so well in the defense. Okay, let's see. So they have to win this map. TP, that's normal. I like the boop. Who booped them? Or was that Rim pulled him? Probably Rim pulled him, I guess. Why is SD over there? Who did they get booped by? Oh, Pasty! Pasty! Gotcha! I was like, who the hell has a boop on Geo? Because they don't have a Lucio. Pasty kill himself with dynamite or just fall off the point? SD's dead here. Should be dead. He shouldn't win this 1v1. There we go. I called a bit too much, yeah. That's just awful positioning. I'm guessing you weren't watching SD. Oh, you didn't see this one live? Yeah, that was funky. Not sure why Geo is holding there. Or why SD was like everywhere. Oh, flank. That's tragic. That hurts. That's like, oh well, guess I'll die. Where's SD going? No. Oh, he actually gets two. Damn. That's pretty good. Half of the time I was on Genji.
With a critical DPS ult on a character that should not be getting that much value. But even as I say that, Merlin strikes back from the grave here on the backside, comes up from the trench. Oh no, RQT. Oh, it was over, bud.
I don't know about that Death Blossom unless he's swapping. Because the swap would be advised here.
They want it, man. They want it. They don't want that blade.
Why did they use window? Wall I understand, because they got a swap. But like window, you can keep the BAP.
Pressuring him with her turrets, and the fact that then he proceeds to get too low.
Unless you're gonna swap the BAP.
It clutched up the point.
And they don't swap anything.
I wanted EM to win.
What the hell did I just watch? The three things that they needed to or could have swapped.
And that's the end of it.
They just didn't. Genji theoretically goes super hard on a defense. Yeah. His ultimate's a little bit lackluster here, especially like once you get onto the points itself, you can use the ult when they're pushing through a choke. It's really good, but there's a very small window where that's the case, as opposed to like a Hangzhou, which has similar mobility, but a much better ultimate for this point. No one touched. I'm done. Oh, dude, they could have held out. The Genji just lets you brawl. Yeah. There we go. Empty on his signature Torb. They super fast and aggro. Well, that was not fast nor aggro. They just kind of stood there and watched the point tick away. I mean, it's not as bad as the C9 OTW did against Wisdom, so at least you have that going for you. That was probably the worst C9 I've ever seen. Like the positioning from EDM here. SD's getting really aggressive. He should be punished. I'm not sure if he's going to be. Okay, he is. I was gonna say, that's like really bad positioning for a sim, where the rest of her team is dead. Oh boy, it's the Torb again. I'm talking about how it should be played. Yeah. I don't think we lost Hano second once in scrims. To be honest, he could have won that fight. If he didn't C9. It was just like, you stood there and watched it go away. Because like you had cooldowns, no one was really dead. You easily could have had defender's advantage. Had to hammer the MVP. Oh, that's right, Flank got MVP. It's funny because in the voting process, Zorthcon was really far ahead for like 2 days, and I stopped paying attention. And then I checked again, and Flank Yada was ahead by like 20 votes. I was like, oh, okay, this happened. I just see Empty run up with the hammer. Like, what are you doing? That was a much better engage. Jesus. The frame rate just dies. He's just better objectively. Sure, isn't that what MVP is? But I mean, he is a ridiculously good player. I think MVP was pretty much a lock for one of those two from the beginning.
He's actually like, that's the end. But somehow EM didn't notice the big horse just sitting on high ground. They didn't notice, or they just didn't care. And I feel like that was the end of it for them.
There was definitely a moment of pure terror, though. There was definitely a moment of pure terror. The quarter again, but I actually know that.
I like the disengage from Geo there. A little bit of discipline. Wait for cooldowns. Especially if you can force out a cooldown like Bob. Actually, no, RQT just swapped to that, didn't he? That's looking dicey. Yeah. I don't think it matters. No. Edinburgh should hold this for a little while longer. Not sure what you're talking about. Hey, everyone has flashes of brilliance every now and then.
Gets a kill just to send himself.
Even novice.
Oh, there's the sim turret still on. Okay, Empty got it. Empty got it. Empty's Torbo was really good there because it almost forced.
I would say that was a risky sightline for Valerie to take, but then again, they only have a Kree, so it doesn't really matter.
I usually am very on the fence about Empty on the Tor, but Empty
They had like an Ash or something.
work on him.
There's a reason 2CP is usually our worst map type, and Control is the best.
So he must be feeling good.
SP King should just, yep, okay, he did it. I'm proud. There's no follow-up. Push in the stairs, push in the stairs, damn it. Okay, just let your main tank die. That's fine too. That fight should not have resulted in anyone on Edinburgh dying whatsoever. That should have just been a quick fight win for Edinburgh. I like the Bob on point, that was smart. But also kind of inconsequential because you had defender's advantage anyways, Merlin. Merlin just like doesn't have that panic button. Oh god, this is the clip.
I'm currently outside of the map.
This is the clip. I saw the clip.
I am currently. What is happening?
No, stop. Bob made it to 0 ticks, yeah.
I actually am inside of the game, inside of the map's walls. I need to take a screenshot of this for a second.
First one.
What is happening
Yep.
on my screen?
Empty. Hey, not the worst thing you'll ever be known for, let's be honest. And I mean, you just fucking decimated Pasty there, so I'd say you redeemed yourself partially. Rim was like, wait, I should leave.
The Edinburgh Monarchs are left standing. Their opponents, not so much.
Okay, so I got back into the map for the tail end of that.
Did SD just swap onto the sim? Yeah.
The Edinburgh Monarchs.
Aren't you known for that Torb clip? Torb in general not using heals.
Okay, so
Did I miss Empty not being able to throw a turret? Yes.
it wouldn't let me TP to people.
I mean, technically no, because you were there, but... Interesting that SD swapped off of the junk. Honestly, don't ask me what SD's doing. He probably felt like he was outputting more damage, but he's putting more damage out to the shield. I am not accountable. I need to see it for the 5th time.
It's Awesome and Zexu got caught in the hallway in a brutal crossfire and just destroyed. And Valerie there with kind of the parting shots escorted him out. Valerie, whoa, okay, come on.
That's pretty good from Edinburgh. 2 ults. Hey, he actually did get it up onto the lockers.
That was a really good play. They almost pinched them because he popped his ult core, and then
Genji would legit be a good pick here. Yeah, Genji would be. Hanzo's fine too. Actually, Hanzo's pretty standard here, anyways. He has more range. Rim's playing with fire right now. Yup. Got a strange hitbox. Oh, yeah. That's rough. That M-ward was really close. Yeah, that was honestly just Geo not pressing their advantages when they had them. And Edinburgh playing good on defense. With a Genji, you can probably engage on the top pretty easily. Yeah, it's a lot, with Genji, it's a lot easier to like flank around and get a little bit extra poke damage, because that's actually one of the few spaces that the offense would have a good time with the Dragon Blade.
Monarchs looked really good on that defense. They looked like they were more coordinated than obviously the last map. You know, he was actively.
By doing this one, I can just. There we go.
Because I guess they're used to being the aggressive team.
Okay. Let's see, no real surprises from either team. Only real difference being
rolling into the sign.
Ash versus Kree and Mercy versus Brig. Depending on how these teams play, either could be good.
Very early on. Doesn't need to pop the shields.
Bit of a fuck up on the grapple there.
Slam down onto the point.
Risky.
So it's hunting a Zenyatta
Extremely
here.
risky.
Peel off with shields activated. Unfortunately, Dragon
And
kind of displaced right there.
oh, he let go like 2 milliseconds too soon.
Valerie can't do anything with the giant hamster death.
Get ready to watch a Zen just get ignored by the team over and over.
Early take here from the Monarchs with Rim Jazzberry.
And Rim feeds the enemy's front line so much ult charge. Like throughout this entire series. We lost this map mostly because we never learned to play ball comps. But why would you play ball comps? Just play dive or brawl or whatever you're good at.
Well, Merlin tries to lead in there, coming by the train track with the rest of the team. That's a good play by Rim.
I'm not sure Rim knows exactly what the plan is here. Oh, that was a nice stick though. Was ST? Hold on. Watch ST here. It just like spins around chaotically. Wait, there he is. Just like spinning non-stop. He had a 5-man shield, didn't press E.
The Rim Jazzberry theory prevails once more.
It actually did right there.
And he's already back. He's already back. And looking at all the
Counter ball comp? That's basically just free. You just gotta save your stun.
Awesome, the DPS
Oh.
taken out there.
Rim is ridiculously lucky that Edinburgh doesn't know how to peel. Like, so many moments here where I'm like, he's gonna feed so hard. We were really expecting double shield to be the meta? Interesting. Double shield's kind of been falling out of the meta. Still viable, but this Sigma Hog, fucking Sigma Ball is more common. I like that combo. Unfortunately, the trance was there to kind of ruin the day. Why would Valerie... Don't tell me he wins this. He stops spectating Rim, he's like, I've seen enough. Oof. That's a lot of ults. Just to take point. that's a lot of ults. Maybe if Merlin didn't base his meta opinions on contenders? This is played in contenders a decent amount. But like, you also have to put into perspective what your team is capable of pulling off. Ooh, that was nasty. That was nice.
Awesome again. He starts it off with a really good pulse bomb kill there, taking the Zenyatta out of the action. Flank Yatta goes down. Both Zenyatas traded out here to start, but it's Merlin who goes down next. A crucial kill. The high noon from
Probably didn't need the high noon there. Already winning the fight by like 2 kills at that point.
And I think that should signal the
That's gonna be first round.
hope of contesting.
Ooh, kind of whiffed. He had stuck Pacey, that might have been huge.
Tries to keep it alive. Merlin
That right there, Empty, that's how you counter ball. Just stun him.
annihilated right
Everyone shoots at him, all at once.
legs empty, rushes back in. The Diva
Okay, that was actually kind of styled on, to be honest. Just run in and Helix rocket to the face. Oh,
empty doing major
that was
work.
actually pretty nice.
Early on, though, even as I say that, the minefield dropping in from Rim, trying to put a bow on this one. Rim knocks their opposite number right off the
This
point.
is
Merlin
being
rolls
stalled for
right
so
in.
long.
Eats a mine, is destroyed. Wooly the Brigida swinging for the fence.
Oh my god, aim Rim.
Picking up some very squishy characters here on the point.
Just gives up and goes ball for him.
On the part of Valerie will not be enough to stall. RQT with the disc.
Yep, this man has main tank aim, that's for sure.
And that is stage 1 of the tiebreaker in favor of Geometric.
ST just getting like 5 kills casually.
Back from the brink. They got
Here, not actually the case.
Oh my god.
Comes positions. Prince Xu and Rim Jazzberry.
There we go.
Sigma Ball. That's been kind of the bread worked quite well. Coming into the double shield with empty back on that Torbjorn.
I like Geo on the.
Crimzane is actually fine. What do you just like
Looks like they actually are learning how to
go potato for a second?
than originally.
Because that aim was not fine. But if his aim normally is fine.
Really shut down the flankers.
Indeed. Well, a lot of gunfire being exchanged there around Drum Jr. On the left side.
That's a risky slam, and he found out exactly why.
Dies quickly and dies first. That means that, though, the point is
Wouldn't go for a full team slam if you didn't have your E up.
casualty of that rotate is Merlin. Pasty with two.
Inspirational.
Great work, uncontested in the back as this Ash with the pocket.
I mean, it's fine because the rest of Geo's cleaning up, but like, you don't want to keep feeding like that. You're just giving ult charge needlessly.
Lord Pasty, unstoppable there. Filling in for a little bit of void left by SDS in that fight, but really showing work on that Ash.
I'm probably gonna do the Tokyo Hangzhou VOD and 2x speed just to save some time because it's already 8 and it's like a 2.5 hour game.
Stop them. And I mean, Geo are definitely going to be struggling a little.
Ooh, that was really close to Pasty just
Geo's
getting
playing
domed.
split comp. They're playing
See, this is where I took Pasty's account.
are running the risk of getting killed just like that before they can even make a push in.
Oh, Flank Yada got a huge
SD's been on point like the entirety of Busan with his sticks.
on these attacks. Pasty continuing to just chunk damage. Nexu, awesome. The whole crew get involved on this one as they'll just clean up that attack. And that percentage
I was gonna chuckle out of the players who have that tick to just like spray everywhere in the melee. Like, calm down, you're gold.
Let me just double check and verify this real quick. It's looking like Wisdom 1.
Oh,
What did, do you know?
that's so tragic.
Oh, that sounds about like a Wisdom game.
I'm kind of confused as to why Valerie didn't like back up though.
Right on Temple.
Like that entire time, he just stood at that corner with a shield up. It's like, how about you just
About that. It's looking like
go back with the rest of your team?
Academy versus Geometric Grand Finals again. Whoa.
Oh, RQT.
There's no way Vespi King survives. Oh my god. I'm impressed by the healers.
In the midst of that fight on that far, a huge swap there to the Egyptian sensation there to turn that one around.
Okay, well maybe if RQT keeps playing Pharah like this, it might be an EM versus Wisdom Academy Finals.
That was some
Does
great
Geo win
work.
this round?
Actually kind
Or does it go to Mecha Base as well? I'd have to assume they win this round just because they're so far ahead already.
Much out of the Pharah pick, but I was proven wrong. But Best King's dropping.
Dude,
RQT
bruh.
low. RQT is brought down. There's
He saw him place the pulse bomb
Rez, the Gravitic comes out. It's got targets in it. Down goes
and proceeded to jump on top of it.
down goes the rest of the squad. The whole wall there.
If he was anything other than a tank,
On point.
he would have just died.
Destroyed. And again, they just don't have enough time. Maybe for 2 more fights if they're lucky.
Yeah, it's Geo has a lot of ults to work with, but I mean, so does
Yeah.
EM. EM has.
I'd have to assume Geo just takes this. They have too many ultimates.
Coming up, Dragon has to pop. This
They're pressuring RQT out. Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking was going to happen. Is
Gravitic does come
probably
in.
going to be caught out
Not
first.
getting much out of it though. Valerie's taken out of the action early on again.
Nice pick on the Valerie.
Disaster. Everything going wrong here at this last stage.
How does Wooly get that res off?
Field is deployed, but it ultimately means almost nothing. It's just the two
Oh my god.
Vespa King and Merlin trying to keep this together.
Yeah.
Vespa King goes down. Merlin taken out.
That's
by
just GG.
Oh, and that's gotta be the end. The
UT tries to touch, can't. That's it. Okay, damn.
RQT down.
So Geo without Churd can't get away with all the recklessness. Anyways, reading DMs. Where's the last VOD? Hangzhou, no. There we go. I'm very interested to see this game. I've only seen a little bit of both of these teams because I didn't really pay too much attention to advanced. But
there are times where they just look absolutely dominant. So
curious to see like if Tokyo just kind of shit the bed or what,
they're going up against a giant if we're speaking about that.
or if like Hangzhou played out of their goddamn minds.
That Hangzhou did in fact take Tokyo to a map 5 in week 8 of the regular season. So even though Tokyo Vickers is 4-0 in the regular season and Hangzhou is 4-3,
Prince is the team dead in chat, turd in game. Okay, let's see. This is basically what I expect out of either of these teams. Okay, let's see. I believe this is only a 3-1 as well, isn't it? Or did it go to map 5? I don't remember. I'll figure out soon enough. Pendy, if you're still watching after this VOD, I'll be free to do the stream stuff basically all night. A lot of poke damage coming in. I would expect Tokyo to take the upper hand shortly after the point is flipped. Asa already has dupe. Early Cole, but no deaths out of it. Okay, that might turn the tide unless Asa can get a massive shatter. No, he doesn't. Hangzhou's taking a shit ton of damage, but they're maintaining composure. Like they're playing on the knife's edge. Very, very high risk, high reward. Holy shit. Coffee Dog almost just partially through. It's so jarring going from novice to this. The amount of mistakes made is so little. Oof. That was just a nice shot from Chuggy. I wonder if this will be the starting lineup for Hangzhou on Thursday. Because they've been swapping up their tank line in particular quite a lot. Just like curious if this was something that they didn't intend for, but like knew they were going to have, so they just scrimmed with it non-stop, or if like this is now going to be their starting lineup for the rest of the season. Starting to get into dicey territory for both of these teams. They both have a decent amount of ults, not a ton. It's one fight territory for both. So one early ult could change the tide. Yeah, that round should go in favor of Tokyo. Yeah. Interesting to see Ranter on Lucio, actually. Well, I guess Platt's on Mercy, so. Really good round, in all honesty. Nothing is scarier than 2 times speed diving. Speed dividing? No. I don't have my headphones on, so I can't hear the casting and whatnot. More comfortable. Interesting. This is the first time in a couple of weeks that I've seen Ball Hog as opposed to Ball Sig. Or like a Hog Sig. Hog usually seems to be the least picked of those 3. Ooh, damn. Okay. Asa flexing a little bit.
I believe I must actually got hooked by average GB, and from there they were able to just finish them off because I saw the sun coming out in their little icon and just getting blown right away. And now they have to recontest this, and they don't really have any tools to work off of. I must however, found his lane to the back and gets a pick onto Ranter. Platinum is there for the res, but that's a big resource used with Apple now. It's a pick on I mustache. So Hangzhou in this, while they were dealing with the dive, were able to get the point.
Very back and forth though. Like, I don't think Tokyo were expecting to face a team that was like this balls to the wall. Because Hangzhou are basically just going non-stop. You know, even if they're in a losing fight, they just like don't give up whatsoever. 2 copied Wrecking Ball. That's actually pretty funny. The crazy thing is that Hangzhou is still retaining control at this point. The question will be, can they get it back after they've lost it? Because they're almost certainly going to. Acid just pops the hell off, yeah. Wait, no, they're still back. Okay. You don't want to give it up. Okay. Probably win this round, don't they? Probably goes to ruins, don't they?
So many individual 1v1s going on right now. Batman is able to win his against Asa. We see goes on the wall there, kind of wall running himself, and Pete with a good pulse bomb onto iMustache. Someone has to pull up an edge eventually. There's so many just random skirmishes going on right now as both teams struggle for control.
This sort of just devolved into a bunch of team deathmatch encounters.
It's just been trading back and forth for the past minute or so now. There's actually just neither team has really been able to find that one little play that they need to take total
It
control.
looks like Hangzhou should take it. Yeah, or I mean, Tokyo should take that fight. But Hangzhou just needs one good fight, and they have a lot more to work with in the dupe and the mines. I don't know where those mines went. Oh, right there. A little bit of sloppy engage there. Might not matter though. Taking out Asa is pretty big. No. Scrappy. Hangzhou sort of suffering from like a similar thing that I've seen with a lot of teams with this playstyle is like once they lose momentum, it's hard to gain it back. But it's on like a micro level as opposed to a macro. So it's not so much like they get boomed for the entire series as much as they have difficulty imposing themselves enough to retake a point that was lost on something like control. If this was a 3-1, then that means Hangzhou takes every other map afterwards, which is interesting. But it also kind of makes sense, because there's more time to collect themselves, as opposed to control, where their style just really doesn't fit with retaking a control point that they lost. Let's see. Nothing really out of the ordinary, aside from the Echo pick here. A little bit risky. As long as Chuggy's hitting his shots. Also should have a pretty difficult time. Well, it doesn't seem like they're really focusing on the Echo. They're mostly focusing on the ground war, and then just worrying about everything else afterwards. Oh, yep, there we go. That's gonna be first point. Pretty well played. The downside to that being that Asa already has dupe. The upside being that he's probably not going to use it for another few seconds. Yep, there we go. I like that reverse charge from Copy Dog. Actually, good discipline. Because he knew Asa would probably be trying to go for him. Oh, damn. This is going extremely back and forth, but it's really just the supports left. Yeah. Knock. Asa already has like another dupe. That's pretty crazy. Apple just got deleted. Not sure if the bomb was necessary, especially because he already used both support ults. Off of plat. Off of Plat's perspective, that's not better. Okay, fine. That was just a good blizzard. Kill time. Granted, not that much time because it was such a quick fight. Whoa. That's a painful blizzard to watch from Acid. I know what he was trying to do, but it just didn't work. Okay.
Oh, that's just so sad. You know, every time Hangzhou Bark are trying anything, they just get stopped at their track by using this ultimate game that Tokyo Drifters are so good at. Not only they're building ultimates super quick, they're also
kind of funny to think that both advanced semifinal games had an Echo who was duping main tanks a lot. Except Gundam was doing it more for Orisa. Actually getting a lot of value out of Orisa.
trying to deal with Asa. They just decided to double down on the brawl.
Yeah, double down on the brawl may be a good idea, but not so much when there's an enemy mage that could easily wall your Reaper or your tanks off. So I like the fact that Batman is trying to play aggressive, but you have to be coordinated in this case because you don't want to get walled off. And now they have Acids Blizzard, and I must just self-destruct to really take this fight home, or else
yeah, they really need to do it here. Tokyo does not have a ton to work with. Here comes the bomb from
I like the bomb.
Beautiful job taking out.
That landed on top of the wall?
All of Tokyo will fall there. They didn't even have to use the blizzard.
Might have.
Like, he's going to try and contest for as long as he can, but that's going to be
It'll be second point. A little bit dicey there, but they did it. With a decent amount of ults to potentially snowball, but they're going to have a few fights to get to where they want to be before the snowball really happens. They're also going to need to take out Peep. That mustache almost needs to eat this Blizzard. They need to kill the Bongo really fast. Blizzard. Not going to use it. Oh no, he does. Okay. Probably going to close out that push. Probably. Yeah. Maybe. They're still going. I don't know about that bomb. I would have just kept it. Well, I guess it was overtime. Okay, fair. No real change. Bigie's on Reaper, that's about it. A little bit of a risky charge, didn't pay off. That's the other side of the coin for Hangzhou's playstyles. Like, when it works, it's good enough to topple giants like Tokyo, but when it doesn't work, it's painful to watch. I stagger. Force them a little bit extra time. I like Asa trying to contest the point too, though. I couldn't really do anything about it. Oh. Nice Blizzard.
Yeah, and this is what I was saying. Hangzhou might just be the map they give Tokyo the hardest time because this is a map with Brawl 3 times. I'm still not sure why they're running Diva Ryan. It seems like it's working, so who am I to judge?
Seems a little bit icky.
Oh my god!
Okay. Don't blossom. Don't blossom. Okay. We're good. That was gonna hurt if he blossomed.
Using the application matrix to boost up all the damage. So beautiful stuff. But again, like I was saying, one thing I do want to mention, I'm really interested to why iMustache is opting to run this Diva on a more brawly situation rather than this Zarya. Because if you have a Zarya, right, you can easily help your Reinhardt avoid the freezes, avoid the stuns, everything. Where Diva just all they can do is eat the fire strike. That's about it. Nothing else.
They may be trying to eating the Blizzard, maybe. The nice shatter block from Apple. Chuggy J has found himself in the back and is down 2. Goes towards down, but Asa's shatter knocks everyone on the side of Hangzhou down. Despite that nice play from Chuggy J, it is not enough. And Tokyo continue to push the payload forward. They should be able to
You gotta do something about Asa. Keep duping the Reinhardt and just like MTDing the entire team. Because he does it every single time and he's basically unabated. Blizzard, like, their response to that is basically just come back the next fight and win. Like, it's okay, but it's also sloppy. And if a team has more than one clutch player, like Epizeuxis, then it could be very dangerous. Happy's so low. Based on the ultimates, I would have to say that Tokyo has to cap second, but knowing the ultimate outcome, I wonder if they do get second held. No, they have to at least further into second than currently is. They probably just give up second and go for a better first. No, they actually do contest. Lucio, I wonder if he was actually going for that. Yeah, I was gonna say now is a good time to blossom. Last fight and everything. Everyone's frozen. Beat would wear off, and sure enough, interesting. Good recontest. Last second, but basically everything to do with this game, I guess. Just very fast paced. Not counting, obviously, watching at a 2x speed, but Like the pace of the play is ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
Some good amount of high grounds and some line of sight. So if you have a really good player, why not?
From Assetari and Chucky
TV's hooks here. So if the hooks do land,
Pause it for a second. Let the internet catch up. Good enough.
ooh, look at this. The teleport will come on high ground. They can't really burn down anybody though.
Yeah, it doesn't really end up burning you up. But average TV caught out a little bit, but no, it's like Acid in the back has found the Ranter. A very sneaky
Ooh,
there. Now it's gonna
damn, Ranter.
push Acid back.
Caught lacking.
But losing actually both
Oh, shit, painless. Oh my god, dude.
Giving over to some key players right here, like Acid, Chuggy, and Batman. You see, they didn't even literally leave the spawn. They didn't even touch the card that much, and we're already seeing 50% ultimate being built on many players. And look at how aggressive Acid is playing. Like, Acid knows that there's not really a McCree on the side of this Tokyo Drifter.
Pretty rare that we see Gibraltar. I'm glad they played it.
Yeah, but when you're off in that room by yourself like that, you're eventually going to get caught out. And there's
Acid dies, but that's relatively inconsequential for this composition they're running. They could just back up and keep doing their thing for the most part. By the time they're ready to recontest, he'll be back. Look for a dupe, look for a dupe. I'll be looking for a dupe right about now. There you go. A little bit late, but... Oh, damn. I was going to say, I'm not sure about the Tracer pick, but he's making it work. Much like everything else this game that Hangzhou's doing, it's higher risk than something like a Sigma.
Oh, this is really nice. I think the DPS players from Hangzhou Bark finally woke up. They warmed up right now, and they're showing that they're stepping up in a lot of these situations where they seem direly needing to get a kill.
What do you position here? Other than to... Okay, yeah.
Really good stuff coming out now.
They're just looking for a peep. Gotcha.
From side of Tokyo Drifters, where they have this Transcendence ready. They could easily counter Batman's flux.
That was the perfect first pick onto the Mercy from Knock on Wood. However, Batman's going to swap switch out onto Pete. The
Nice beat.
the Transcendence out from him, but it's not enough to save
I probably just saved first point. They might actually first hold.
the Hangzhou Bark still very much in control right now. Knock on Wood is actually rejoining.
Chuggy is solo right now. They actually first hold this? Tokyo doesn't have that much. What they do have is going to be a little bit tricky to... Oh, Chuggy. Oh, wow, that's actually massive. They fucking first hold this, don't they? Ah, damn, dude. That's impressive as shit. Or do they? Wait. Maybe they don't first hold. Or maybe they do, I don't know. The beat... Painless's beats were, like, ridiculously valuable so far. No, I think they do first hold. Fender's advantage is going to be too strong. Yeah, damn. Wow. That's a ridiculous recontest. Also really good on iMustache for staying alive for as long as he did. That's certainly not easy, especially while stopping the point from being capped.
It's just a lot of skirmishes breaking out left and right. It just feels like the same thing that Hangzhou Bark was struggling with Tokyo Drifters. Tokyo Drifters, not really. They usually win fights in a tip top and help.
Okay.
1.4 meters are all that separate Hangzhou, and going up 2 to 1
Nothing really different.
is now an incredible situation for them as
Same stuff.
basically the same exact comp, and so has the team Tokyo. It's gone well so far. Asa with a nice Rez was actually interrupted by something, so he will not be coming back into the fight for a second. Apple has come in on the wrecking ball, doing a nice job of mixing up Hangzhou, but Acid gone undetected. He's going to push that payload through car wash now, as Hangzhou look to make this basically a one-fight territory as they are coming up on the pivotal corner that Tokyo needs to hold for another 3 minutes. But it's Acid in the back. He's found Ranter. Average trades out Chuggy, but Knock on Wood is there, and Painless. I think he might be going for Rez, and he's gonna take another Acid takes down Asa. All of a sudden, the members of Tokyo Drifters are falling left and right. Apple is the only one left. He is contesting the point for as long as he can, but just has a sliver of health. Can anyone from Tokyo come back to contest this before Hangzhou just take this point? The Lucio.
That was just a roll.
So is the Moira. There will be some
Like that was just small pick after small pick. Basically all went in favor of Hangzhou. Anything that didn't was pretty much just rezzed up. That was dominant. That was like a different game entirely. That looks more like Tokyo just getting burnt out. They're making simple positioning mistakes. Just getting caught out more. Then they slowly crumbled, but they can't really back up because they need to contest. That was just brilliantly played.
I don't think Tokyo Drifters know this. They're gonna cast them off.
Of course they fucking do. They did good to get back to point fast though. That could have been absolutely hilarious though. Wow, that was a really good. Jesus. Okay, Hangzhou. Zeuxis really needs to worry if Hangzhou starts to find momentum in the finals, because that might be a really quick series otherwise. Oh, dude. Dude. Now they're just styling on them. This doesn't even look like the last map where Tokyo was looking a little bit fatigued. This is looking more like Hangzhou just firing on all cylinders. Like they can taste the victory. I think there is quite a lot of time for Tokyo to pull it out. Thinking especially with
That is very, very unfortunate. Yeah,
what?
it's so sad because this also happened, I believe, yesterday or Friday. I'm not really sure. Where we had a
What just happened?
error right here, and they were shut down. I believe it was Friday in an expert game. So this is really sad to see. Hangzhou Bark were looking so good. It looked like Tokyo Drifters were just about to take the point. Things were lining up.
Did the server crash?
Very unfortunate, but it happens. It's just been really, it's weird because Blizzard has not mentioned this problem at all. And a lot of people, I've been hearing from a lot of people.
Oh,
are getting.
that's so bad.
So really interesting to why this is happening. Maybe because they just released some WoW updates. Maybe servers have been wonky because of that. But I'm not really sure. They really wanted to beat this team, and I think.
Dude. Oh my god. So holding down here and what I like to call the retard surprise didn't work. So they go even more stupid. I'm done. I'm done, man. Oh my god. What are they gonna do if it... Oh, they preempt. That's actually brilliant. That's hilarious. I don't know if it'll work. That's really funny though. They had a little bit better target focus there. They could have made like the biggest brain play possible. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate given the time bank that Hangzhou had on defense compared to now. That's really bad. That's so tragic. Hangzhou was literally firing on all cylinders. Now they're back down to mortal capabilities. Oh my god. I feel so bad for them, dude. I know they win this, but like, fuck. Ooh, that was nice. At least they don't even give up a tick here. Makes me feel slightly better. Oh, that's a brutal stagger. Okay, they really wanted their time bank back. Everyone has a ridiculous amount of ultimates too. Tokyo is basically L6. Are you shitting me? Oh my god, dude. Now I can see why Raidkos was saying he didn't want Painless to have an ego. He wanted it again. That's hilarious. Did he just he solo beated himself? Oh my god. I'm not sure about that, Death Blossom. At least try and get the div out of mech first. Or wait for her to use DM. Actually, probably not even wait for her to use DM, because... Oh, is this what? Yep, that's where. How crucial is that non-Eaten Blizzard, though? It definitely changed the tempo of the fight. Dude. That was a pretty brutal stagger, even without the Maywall. Oh, and they're going up here too. My mustache can find a good bomb. Yup. Push them back, and there goes Platinum. That's the fight now gone. And they're back to a pretty damn good time bank.
And this squad of Hangzhou Bark just looks so efficient. They're just winning these fights. Like, that fight was surely won just by one ultimate right here. So, and it really stabilizes the ultimate economy.
I like these off-kilter walls that Acid keeps throwing in. Pretty cool. Rather useful too. Like, as opposed to like just blocking off the team, it's funneling them. The Lucio 1v1. Looks like Tokyo will cap with a little bit of time left. Yep. Definitely not what they wanted though. multiple times where they could have had a much easier time with a much better time bank. Nothing out of the ordinary. Did they just use a fake out wall? I think they did. Also, that's a stupid fast capture. Like, that's that's on a different level of capture. I think Hangzhou regained their momentum. Nothing with the shatter. Apple dies anyways. Acid getting low, doesn't die. Ball doesn't do much. Oh, do they not get a tick off of this? That'd be tragic. No, they do, okay. That's actually worth it then. If such a time bank. Don't blizzard that. Why would you blizzard that? I don't hate the Reaper pick, but I guess since you're both playing Brawl, it doesn't matter. Ooh, nice. To be honest, I was expecting like Tokyo to be faltering more in their play. I think this was just honestly kind of like the Vitalized syndrome that I'm now calling it. Or like a Dark Horse team that's always been like mid-table at the very least just comes in and like, I don't know, takes out her wall or some shit. Why would you remech? Why would you remech there? What were you hoping for? Just gave them more ult charge. Especially Asa. But anyway, yeah, it feels more just like Hangzhou coming in and like beyond prepared. Oh, Apple is so dead. Could be dead. Guess not. He just drops. Oh! Damn, that might actually at least cause a second tick to be given up. Losing Peep like that. Maybe not. Took too long. No. Took too long. Let them make it back and build Blizzard. Yeah, they just need to get off. I don't recall if this went to a map 5 or if it was just a 3-1. Whoa. A lot of frame drops. Wait, did they not notice? He wasn't even looking at the point for a little bit. Oh, Jesus. They should have a better time bank. Should. You just need to focus for like 2 seconds. Yeah, okay. Wait, they had the exact same time.
Both teams are going to have exactly 1 minute to attack point B. I mean point A here. It's going to be Hangzhou on attack first.
Wow, you don't usually see this, an exact time bank after taking 2 points. I surely thought they would have.
This might go to another map, does it? No. No, it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, so Hangzhou has to take it here. I'm curious to see how. You have to cap some progress then.
This is a very interesting thing.
I mean, if you look at it, right, this is a decent pickup because on the side
If you're expecting a Sim teleporter here, this is actually really good because Junkrat can blow up Sim teleporter just so quickly.
Not even, you can just throw in a trap right there, and the first person to walk in just like eats everything. And
what's today? Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday.
And on the side of the Hangzhou Bark, they don't really have anything.
Thinking for a second, like, oh shit, do I have to do anything for production? But no.
Yeah, now Hangzhou.
Oh, that was nice. Oh, Happy should have died there. Jesus, look at Nox ult percentage. All of it, all at once. Losing plat like that, that's probably first point right there. Yeah, Apple can try to recontest, but not gonna get much. I don't know, they might be able to bring it back. Less likely by the moment. Yeah, no. Peggy's turrets did a lot of work there. They have too many ultimates, they might actually be able to snowball this. Although Peep does have Blizzard, so that should be able to stop most of it. Not sure about that bomb. Probably could have saved the bomb for a little bit longer. Damn.
And 2 more points have been found for Hangzhou.
Wow.
That was clean.
Now, Tokyo Drifters, their League Zero lives are on the line with this 1-minute Hanamura attack. They need to find both points to stay alive here.
And again, just to remind everybody, this is a best-of-5 series, and guess what team is up to right now? It's Hangzhou Bark. So if Hangzhou Bark win this, not only they go to finals, but this will probably be one of the biggest upsets we'll see, because
I mean, we haven't seen very many upsets in League Zero Semifinal weekend. This would by far be the biggest upset of
Now I'm curious to see if Tokyo can also take first, or they just get first held.
they're going up against
I guess third held.
Tokyo Drifters we're talking about, undefeated, and guess what? All that goes out the window if Tokyo Drifters cannot prove themselves right now at this moment, because you could be all the undefeated you want.
For once, they're not holding in a stupid position. Oh wait, no, maybe they are.
This will be a very, very big upset for not only them, also for League Zero. I would say in the history, probably.
Yeah, it's very possible. Tokyo Drifters are under so much pressure right now.
No, he's just going for the early fire strike.
Here we go.
For once, they're not holding in a stupid position.
The walls come out from both sides, so neither team really looking much. Batman in a lot of trouble currently getting. And here comes the charge from Apple. Will the team be able to focus him down? Apple now. Apple does go down. No Reinhardt for the side of Tokyo. Now Hangzhou wanting the pressure advantage, and Platinum goes down as well. Tokyo
Ironically, it didn't go necessarily better or worse
so many stagger kills coming
for
out.
either team there.
It's only 10 seconds left. They have to touch some way. Maybe a ball, maybe something. You see Platinum going in, but you don't believe they'll go in.
Platinum's going in a little.
Ranter building. Oh no, Plat.
Will get onto the point, but he's there by himself.
I'm about to say Ranter building Cole is big, but not losing Plat. Especially because Knock was right behind him on Cole charge. Yeah, that's it. Damn. I often wonder.
What a...
Yeah, the 3K. I often wonder if we will ever see another team pull a go again and go completely undefeated all the way through to the grand finals, because a lot of people, including myself, were expecting Tokyo to just do that. I didn't see any team advanced really pulling this off. And I gotta be honest, in a way, I'm kind of happy when I see teams take that first loss, because it tells me that we're doing good in making sure that the competition is as fair as possible. Because one of the reasons for Go Again being undefeated in Season 0, and what it was sort of a symptom of, was how uneven the player base was, skewed across the teams at that point in time. Because it was essentially just a bunch of people that Plasma picked up outside of the draft for the most part. You know, I know there's the memes of like, oh, stacking GMs back then, but that wasn't really the case. Ironically, it was more stacking masters and people that had pre-established synergy. That was where their skill really came in. You know, because you look at who they had for their like starting lineup. It was what, Neglect. I think Red X was on off tank by the end of the season, or Cool Gramps was also there. I forget if they were the starter towards the end of the season or if Red X took over. But then you had like Neural and Sloth on DPS. You had Cowbow and Flare? No, Subtoge? Subtoge? Whatever their name was. They had like a ridiculously stacked lineup. And none of the other teams really had a chance. Whereas like at least Tokyo, throughout the season, the regular season, they were at least brought close. You know, they had a few map 5s. They didn't look immortal, they just looked practiced. And that's a little bit healthier of a state to be in for undefeated. But I still think that if teams can go into the playoffs having at least one loss, it's going to be a lot healthier, because everyone has experienced everything that the league has to offer in that regard going into the playoffs. You know, because this probably was extremely devastating for Tokyo's players. I swept through a few of their footlongers, and I know people like Ranter were just kind of like done with the community anyways. Probably for the better, just because they didn't really seem that invested in the first place. At least for this season. But so it's a little bit hard to pick up on like how devastating that was. But I know for a fact Wisdom in Season 2 was just like completely torn apart. Obviously there was a lot more hanging around that game in particular back then. But on top of that, just like the first loss being, you know, in the playoffs, in the grand finals, no less. In this case, in the semifinals, losing to the number 3 seed, and like the arguably the one team that a lot of people didn't think belonged into the semifinals. You know, so you have that perception of like, oh, these guys don't even deserve to be here. We're just gonna stomp them and go on to the grand finals. I think that was the main reason I wanted to watch this game in particular, even despite not following advanced for the most part, is because Tokyo has been just an enigma to me in a way this season. Being the only one going into playoffs that was undefeated, since every other undefeated team for a time in each division eventually found their first loss. It's interesting to see, and also I kind of have been rooting for Hangzhou on the side, especially because like towards the middle of the season, kind of towards the end, they started receiving a lot of shit. We're just like, oh, they're not that good, you know. And eventually, they lost a few players because they just didn't want to deal with that kind of stuff. And I personally think that's the kind of stuff that Dividing wants to cut down on, and I'd be okay with that as well. So I'm in a sense, this game was very interesting to me to see like what caused Tokyo to be in a state to allow them to lose, and also getting to see Hangzhou kind of prove everyone wrong and be like, hey, look, they're at the very least the second best team. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a copy dog difference because this is the second fucking season in a row that he's done this on a team where they just come out of nowhere and dominate. Anyways, that's all I've got. I'm gonna end the stream now, and I'm sure Pendy wants to do stuff to get ready for finals.